Get to the 8. He's going to take off and run. Mendoza weaves his way first and go diving toward the end zone. Touchdown! That's where he won the Heisman Trophy.
Want to get it off your chest? You're in the right place. They accuse this show of being run by boobs. Well, let me tell you about us boobs. We're real and we're spectacular. Want politics and fun sprinkled with a lot of laughs? Heard in every state in the Union and 1,000 cities around the world. We just finished 17 years of broadcast excellence. Now in our 18th year. The Dave Weinbaum Show is streaming live all over the world. You know, I had to start the show with that taste of excellence from Fernando as he crashes with the Miami linebacker, almost falling over and twisting himself and touching his hand to the ground to push himself forward, and then diving into the end zone. And hopefully that's what's going to happen today with this show. The Dave Weinbaum Show starts now. It's Friday, January 30th, 8 a.m. Central Time, ending at 11. Call 573-578-2700 to get it off your chest. Or send us texts. The show is starring Moshe Rothschild calling from Israel, J.J. Bradshaw, Don Mayhew running for Congress, Chris Adamo, and closing with two of your favorite people and mine, Mark and Patty McCloskey. It's taken 844 days for Hamas to send back the hostages. They took the live but tortured men, women, and kids back to their families and dug up the graves that they murdered in almost the last 3 years. Now remaining, their weapons must go. Figuring out who will have them, leftover Hamas, when they are forced out of Gaza, your guess is better than mine. Trump announces a new Fed chair, finally ridding the USA of Jerome Powell, promising lower interest rates. Dems are crying while citizens dying, maybe shutting down government again. Venezuela's airports are ready and safe to take visitors and citizens moving back. Trump and his family suing the IRS for big money for $10 billion. That's a big charge, and they might just deserve it. Big change in Minnesota as Tom Homeless fills in for Kristi Noem after getting assurances from Mayor Fry and Tampon Tim, but who, by the way, he says, Tampon Tim, that he's innocent yet quitting politics forever. Hey, let's do this together. Okay, we're here. It's now, not before, not after, but we're going to do this show, and hopefully we'll have a great show. I think we will. I'm here with my lovely bride, Lisa Ann Weinbaum.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you.
Oh, you are, and I'm so proud of you. While it almost broke my teeth, her lox and bagel souffle. Is it a souffle? It couldn't be a souffle, but it was really good, very tasty. But you had to eat it with a knife and fork, and I don't know if I broke any teeth or not, but we'll figure that out later. And we have in house JP Maxwell doing a great job over there. Hi, JP.
Good morning.
And Rick Henderson, all the way in Salem, Missouri, with his significant other, Bev. And we're going to have a great show today. As I said, we got Rabbi showing up any second now. Rabbi Moshe, we got a lot to talk about because the hostages are all back. There's a peace board now in Gaza, and they're going to rebuild it, apparently. The Trump administration is going to have a lot of say-so in this. Then we got Don Mayhew running for Congress in St. Louis, and actually running for Senate. He is a state rep, along with his buddy Bill Hardwick, who couldn't make it today. Chris Adamo at 10, and the McCloskeys, Mark and Pat at 10:30, who I got a little story about. I was watching the Will Kane show last week, and suddenly I look up, and there was these two people that I kind of recognized, and they're both carrying guns. It was the McCloskeys, okay, and that was something else. That I actually had to, try to get a hold of them. I think they know now, but I sent them a message. Anyways, right now, we have a wartime rabbi scorned, apparently, by the Board of Peace. How does that happen with that amazing reputation that he has? He's working on new Abraham Accords, I'm sure. Still taking care of IDF widows and kids. Please welcome all the way from Israel, Rabbi Moshe Rothschild. Okay, Mr. Hotshot with his hotshot background. Are you in Israel?
I am in Israel.
Okay, all right, just checking. Because you never know where this guy's going to show up.
That is true. I just
got
back. I actually just got back on Wednesday. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's 844 days, and put on the picture.
Oh,
yeah. 844 days, almost 3 years, and you have at long last the last dead hostage. And explain to people how important that is. We're going to put their picture up here right about now. It's going to. All you got to do is go down a little bit. Yep. Can you see that, Rabbi?
No, I see just a whole list of things called show prep.
All right.
It's
what?
The email.
Yeah, it's
okay. Well, we'll work on that while we talk. It's a picture of all the hostages. I believe there were.
I can do it.
Huh? Okay.
The way I can do it. So
I believe they were about 260 of them.
252.
250.
252.
252, and many of them were killed right off the bat on that fateful day, October 7th, 23, and others they held on to, tortured the hell out of most of them, tortured them somewhat to death. You got that now, Rabbi?
Yeah. Now I see. Yeah.
You see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody who's against the Jews now they don't mention this. They don't mention the hostages. They don't mention the murder of almost 1,300 Jews in one day, helped by 8 or 9 different countries. They don't talk about the the fact that Israel listened to God and took care of the problem like they're supposed to, but they put pages of ruined Gaza and then blamed the Jews for apartheid. Okay, and that's another one we need to play.
Yeah. Well, this is. Did you say you're going to play a video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we got that? Yeah, we're going to get it right now with the nimble fingers of our. Here, listen to this. Okay. Were you able to see that?
No, I heard it sound like a balloon deflating or something.
Well, that's me deflating right now because we wanted to show you that. It's a kid in Israel, and he's walking down the street in Israel, and he's saying, "Yeah, apartheid." Yeah, keep working.
What I can do is I can at least play the audio clip we have, and that way he can hear it.
Okay, go ahead and do that. Okay. At least that.
They say that Israel is an apartheid state. Look at this. A mosque right over here. A shul right over there. A church right down the road. This is Israel. All religions, all faiths live together in coexistence. Stop believing the lies.
No, that doesn't happen in a lot of Muslim countries, does it?
No. Probably the only one, UAE.
Yeah.
Dubai. Yeah. But I can't think of any others.
Yeah. And it's getting to be that way all over the world, by the way, looking at Europe, especially the UK. So, so Hamas is banking on Qatar, Turkey to weasel them into Trump's peace force. Is that going to be? Is he going to allow that? Do you think?
Well, you know what? I think we have to understand like what's going on. I think Trump is playing this in a very, very clever way. These were countries that for all along had been saying they didn't want to have anything to do with ruling over Gaza because they wanted to leave it to the Palestinians. And now Trump has got all these guys on board paying $1 billion each to be part of this board. And they're going to have to not only pay for it, but they're going to have to deal with the problem of the Palestinians. And I think it's actually quite a clever thing that Trump has going on with this peace board.
In other words, he's moved the target.
Yeah, it's a way to circumvent also the UN, which is completely useless.
Yeah.
And so if he gets these countries to pay and he gets them to be accountable for some sort of governance, it could end up being a good thing, but we'll see.
Now, I'm kind of following Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, and I'm looking at she was Kanye was her real hero. Boy, this guy was selling Nazi shirts out there and at performances, and yet he came out, and I saw this by reading the Jerusalem Post. It was a big story there. Ye apologizes for his rank anti-Semitism again, claiming brain damage. Apologize to all the Jews and, quite frankly, to Jesus. I mean, if you're a Christian and or a Catholic or whatever, and you're preaching against Jews, well, guess who was the most well-known Jew maybe in history? That was Jesus. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. We're waiting for kids to apologize and Tucker.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, these guys are conflicted because they're really saying stuff that may get them in trouble later. I mean, let's assume for the moment that Jesus gets to see people like that, And what is he going to say when it's not even in the Hebrew Bible, of which you are a contributor to these days?
Well, look, I don't know about that, but what I do know is that for them to deny the special relationship between the land of Israel, the Jewish people, and God is not very Christian, and I've heard, many Christian leaders speak very strongly and say to deny the Jewish connection to the land, to deny the Jewish relationship with God is a rejection of Christianity. I mean, all you have to do is read the Bible to see that God was a Zionist, and the number one prophesied event in the Hebrew Bible is the return of the Jewish people to the land of Israel, not the Catholic Church, but the return of the legitimate Jewish people to the land of Israel.
Yeah.
And
so I'm saying that this might be a risk for Christians, and Catholics, and
as Ricky Ricardo said, you have a lot of splaining to do.
That's what I'm getting at, because they might have to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas me, who is a pretty much a non-doing Jew, except for I consider this show actually a revelation, not only to everyone else but to me.
Yeah,
it's making me do a lot of work. Go ahead.
So I agree with everything that's being said, and the Bible is very intentional. I'm doing a Bible plan, and I first started in the Old Testament, and then it will link to stuff in the New Testament from the Old Testament. But working through Deuteronomy, through Exodus, and into the book of Joshua, which is where the Israelites come out of Egypt and go into the Promised Land, it is very, very detailed about when they enter the Promised Land, the areas of the land that they were taking over to be their land geographically. Like, it's in there, and it's, if you go back and look at that, it's tied directly to the state of Israel. So anybody that tries to conflict that and say, no, that's not a promise from God, it's geographically even in the book as to where the Promised Land is. So,
right.
Judea and Somalia.
Yeah.
Is that where Elon or whatever her name is?
Yeah, Ilhan.
I was toying with that as my mind apparently went blank. Yeah, come on back to Somalia, Samaria.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I got it right. All right. Thanks for pointing that out.
No problem.
I almost called the rabbi a name. I can't do that. So Ye is apologizing for this, and I'm kind of now following what Candace and Tucker are doing. This Fuentes guy and all that stuff, and trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And the day after I'm reading this on the Jerusalem Post, Candace put that in her daily show thing, and did she actually read what I saw in the Jerusalem Post, or did one of her people do that? I doubt that they're doing that, but okay.
Well, it could be that those who help her with her show prep pointed it out to her. I mean, I doubt she's an avid reader of the Jerusalem Post.
I doubt she's a ravid reader of anything.
Yeah,
and she's a rabbit eater too.
Yeah, except maybe
she's a rabbit eater or a rabbi eater. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, this shows. I'm losing the show here. It's terrible. Anyways, Guinness World Records lifts Israel boycott. You were boycotted by the Guinness World Records, and what the hell? Why would they boycott you?
I mean, it's obvious. There's a lot of Jew hatred sentiment and they buy into these lies that Israel is an apartheid state, that Israel is a genocidal state, that Israel is starving the Palestinians, and they just buy into this without any censor, without any sense, without any, really considering and looking into the truth. And so they just knee-jerk reaction.
Well, it is from the UK. I suspect maybe they're in London, where it's almost illegal to say nice things about Jews, implying bad things about Muslims.
Right. I guess that probably goes without saying in London, and but they lifted the ban. And okay, so now I can try to think of what world record I can go.
Yeah,
for.
I mean, well, it's not like we didn't have any. We have a lot of winners of Pulitzer Peace Prizes and other accomplishments that very few in other religions have, compared to the amount of people. What is it? 0.2%. 0.2% of Jews all over the world. That's it. You got 15 million roughly.
Yeah.
Right?
It's less than 1% of the world's population, for sure.
Less than 1%. Wow. Yeah, 0.2%.
Yeah, like 30% of the Nobel Prizes
go
to Jews. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're getting stepped on. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I have another question. What is the Hebrew word for worry?
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
The Hebrew word for worry is lidog.
Well, that's not what one rabbi says. He says there is no mention of the word worry. There's no Hebrew word called worry. God never said anything about worrying.
That's probably true in the Bible, but I don't know about in modern Hebrew. It's lidog.
Well, I was referring basically to the old, and I wonder if that carried on. Apparently, we worry a lot more. I worry a lot, but I try not to because I read that. Now you're going to burst my bubble.
Which rabbi said that? I want to know right now.
I don't know. Do we have that?
Which one?
Do we have that as a clip? A rabbi saying not worrying is not a bad. There's no word like it. You might want to look on the website itself. So while we're doing this, other than Dave Weinbaum, Dave Weinbaum Show, where can people find and contribute?
They can go to our website, israelalliance.org, facebook.com/Israel Alliance. If they want to get a copy of my book, they can go to secretsofthehebrewbible.org.
Rabbi, let's see, do you have that?
Or you can come on March 8th to Pastor Pat.
Okay, you going to stay?
I hope so.
Yeah, okay. So on the 8th? Okay.
The 8th, 3 p.m.
I haven't raised the rates at all. At least not in a long time. So what the hell?
You can Google it if you want.
Actually, I made a slight error. I was going to build a golf thing, downstairs. So I wanted to see. My wife is all over this now. I wanted to see if I took a golf swing on my way back, what would happen if the ceiling got in the way. And I did, but the problem was I had a good follow through, and I knocked down the chandelier. I broke the chandelier. Broke the light.
My ceiling.
I broke the light.
You shattered it.
Bless me, Rabbi. I broke the light.
But the important question was, how was the follow through?
The follow through was great.
But the follow up was bad.
I bent over and picked up every little piece.
You did not.
And they went and microscoped me. Ow! Stop that! Ow! Okay, play that thing, because that'll be the joke for today. Because I forgot a joke. I don't know why I had it. I thought I had a joke, but what the hell?
Which one?
The where she's mad at me and has
whoa.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. It took me a second to get back.
Okay. Well, that tickles. Stop it! No. All right, let's do basketball. I lost my nuts.
I just
Damn. We gotta go straight to the basketball now. I think my nuts just dropped off. Oh man, that hurt. That's a little dirty for the Reb. I apologize for that. JP made me do that.
Do you have some breaking news that we all might have an interest in here? So our favorite CNN host, or I guess I should say former CNN host, Don, is it Lemon? Is that right?
Lemon.
Has been arrested by federal agents in connection with the Minnesota church shooting, so he is now in custody. So,
but he's a journalist. He's a journalist.
That's what he calls himself.
All right, Rabbi. Shabbat shalom, my friend. Did I get you out soon enough?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi to the family. Hi to Yonit and all the kids, and the special one. You know what I'm talking about. All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. I should have asked people where to buy his book and all that. Huh? Did he cover it?
Yeah, I showed the book, and then
good.
He put the website up, and he
mentioned it,
so.
That's good.
And it's in the link too, so you can click on the link; it'll take you right to it.
I'm trying to see if I left last week's, but you know what? What I'm doing now is I'm tearing it up just as we start the show. I'm tearing up last week's, putting it in the trash, so that I don't get mixed up. Anyhow, our next guest is going to be coming up in about 10 minutes.
I got to tell you real quick.
Go
So
ahead.
the story about the follow through and the chandelier reminds me of when I was a kid. Now, again, people, I was born in the 80s. So back then we had these microwaves were bigger, like they were, huge.
Yeah.
And my parents shopped at Sears all the time. So we had this huge one, and there was a big glass door on it. I mean, heavy, thick glass, heavy front door.
I don't like the way this is sounding.
And I always wanted to practice my baseball swing. My dad kept telling me, don't swing the bat in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And one time, kind of same thing. I had a real good swing, and on the backhand, all I heard was.
So is this why you were only child?
No, it would have been why they didn't have any children at that point.
That's what I'm asking.
Maybe that's why Dad was like, you know what? I think we're good.
I was born on an alligator ranch. I was an only child. Eventually,
and that's how it works out.
There you
right?
go. Yeah, sure. I knew how to dodge those some bitches, you know.
So yeah, I definitely shattered the glass, so to speak, and
yeah.
Well, this was after he already shattered the TV. That was
all right. That's enough.
Oh boy.
That's enough for. Well, that was an accident too. It dropped,
and then he turned the service off on it. I'm just like, what are you doing there?
Do you have I'm trying to help you out. Do you have a large garage space somewhere?
Yeah, actually.
He does.
Get a golf simulator.
Yeah,
you're set.
I'm doing it with for my grandson.
Yeah, much better. They have a whole garage building
right.
to do it in.
That way you can keep the chandeliers intact and all that. And
after repair all the damages. Yep.
Of course. Okay, let's do the commercials right now and buy where my commercials are, and especially McDonald's. We have got a couple clips with McDonald's on it. We're getting a lot of really interesting ones. So we'll play those a little later. Don't touch the dial. We'll be right back.
Honey, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
It looks like you're filling up a swimming pool.
Yep, I'm filling up a swimming pool.
In our living room?
How else am I going to watch the game and stay cool?
If your AC is on the fritz, call Hartley's Climate Control. Hartley's is the area's best in HVAC repairs, installs, and maintenance. Knowledgeable, honest, and dependable. Serving Rolla and the surrounding areas for commercial or residential needs. Hartley's Climate Control. Community born, community raised, community serving.
Call Hartley's Climate Control today at 573-368-3163.
Never be too coy to tell your friends and family about koi sushi and hibachi. Celebrate the best Chinese-Japanese restaurant in the Midwest. Call 573-426-5551 to make a reservation or order takeout. Locally owned, 1808 North Bishop, Rolla, Missouri.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is 2 words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in 1 word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Merrill's Quarry and Asphalt, 40 years serving cities, counties, and everyday businesses with driveways for people who live and work in our little piece of heaven right smack dab in the middle of America. Call 573-578-9101 for your free estimate of rocking, rolling, paving, driveways, sealing, and striping too. That's 573-578-9101 for your free estimate.
Your home is your castle, you don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments, that's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our #1 goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
At your locally owned Price Chopper, our standards are high because we know yours are. See for yourself what an incredible fresh selection of grocery items we have in store. Talk to our expert meat associates about what you're looking for. They're happy to meet any special requests like custom cuts, or see our expert produce associates on how to pick out the best fruits and vegetables. Quality in the deli means fresh, full flavor, and always delicious. If you're craving fresh baked goodness, we have that too. You can expect the best selection and the best value while interacting with our friendly and knowledgeable employees. You can find what you're looking for fast and easily at the best prices at Price Chopper. Fresh savings every day. Insurance going up like crazy? Daniel and Henry Insurance is one of the largest private insurance companies in the world. Richard Boyette, 314-444-5011. He's my guy at Daniel and Henry for 10 years. Business or personal, call Richard at 314-444-5011. He's the best.
Hey, Weinbaum fans. PRC of Rolla's annual Banquet for Life is coming up on March 5th. Join us for an amazing meal and an unforgettable evening as the pro-life faithful come together for the cause of life. Go to supportmyprc.com and click on the banquet link to register. Thanks to our corporate sponsors, your cost to attend this event is covered, but you'll be asked to make a donation at the end of the event. Go to supportmyprc.com to register or call 573-368-5700.
At Town & Country Bank, we've got all the perks of a national bank, like online banking, quick loan approval, and you can deposit your check from your phone. But that's not why our customers love us. They love us because we still offer hometown customer service. Stop by one of our 2 Rolla locations and let our friendly team remind you how special hometown banking can be. We're locally owned and will take the time to understand your needs. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Okay, we're back. I'm slowly stripping my clothes because I'm getting warmed up here. I don't know about you. I hope you're staying warm. Hope your power is back on. If you lost your power and your generators are working, hopefully. I know we went through this when we had the big storms last year. Those were terrible.
Yeah, thankfully this year so far it's just been, we've had snow, but the snow itself doesn't take down the power. So it's thankfully no ice or anything like that. Otherwise it could have been really
not
nasty
here.
this time.
And other places are having that problem.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to play a few quotes and maybe a few other stuff. Oh my God, did I actually miss that one? Yeah, I did. Okay. Oh, well, that was from last week. Here's this week. Ha 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 ha. Okay, let's do let's do the we did the rotate tires, right? Let's do the the rush dance. We need to do the rush dance because all these college kids are back now, and nobody danced for the rush to for the girls to go and join these sororities, for God's sakes, or the men to see girls they might want to date, or vice versa. That's important, don't you think, in college life? Boy, that was a long time ago for me. I was playing rugby back then. That was fun. There it is.
One by one, twist my wrist. Goes like this, start with a track. Eyes on me, watching my back. Just like this, here for the night. Doing right in, just keep watching. Goes like this, on from the back. Eyes on me, ain't like that. Just like this, here for the night. Doing right in, just keep watching. One by one, jump, one by one, twist my wrist. Goes like this, start with a track. Eyes on me, watching my back. Just like this, here for the night. Doing right in, just keep watching. Goes like this, on from the back. Eyes on me, ain't like that. Just like this, here for the night. Doing right in, just keep watching.
Now this was pushed upon me by some of these gals that walked up to me and started saying, "Well, we want to do something for Rush." And so I said, "Well, I don't have enough room here," so I had to arrange for them to go down to Waynesville, Missouri, where we had a store that we rebuilt, and we got it all cleaned out, and it was like inside. And I'm glad I'm telling this story with my wife not in the room.
Heck of a grand opening.
Yeah. So if you're offended by that, I'm so sorry. Can you tell? Anyways, we got some clips here we can read too, don't we? Okay, we've got Patricia Odin Maxwell. Sounding good, looking good. Go team. She is the official pastor to the Dave Weinbaum Show. We have Beverly Whitworth, I'm sorry, and she's a good friend of Rick Henderson, and she's a nice person and good-looking woman. All right, who's next? Shannon Reed. Good morning, happy. It's Friday. Well, thank you. Did I use that during my monologue? I don't know if I did or not. I had it written down. Friday, but that's really cool. Lisa Ann Weinbaum, good morning and happy Friday to you. Oh, you too, huh?
We need to see what's going on with Kathy. We haven't heard from her in a while.
Kathy,
who coined the phrase Friday.
Oh, yes, yeah. Well, yes. That's true.
Speaking of that, we haven't heard from Sanford Dillon, right?
Yeah.
And then Andrea Schromm. We've got a few we haven't heard from actually in a while.
Well, I hope they're okay.
Good question.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Huh. Dr. Meyer died.
Yeah, saw that.
He was a nice guy. I actually got to know him a little bit better. I think wasn't he married to my ex-sister-in-law?
They dated.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
it was for a while.
Towards the end of his life, sometimes I play golf, and a lot of times I go out by myself, where I claim I'm just practicing. I hit different balls and all that stuff. And he was golfing just about every day with some guy, and this is recently. And I just let him through, or they just go around me, and they were very nice about it. Just no problem. And so I'm kind of sad to see that.
Yeah, I don't know if he was sick or if it was kind of a sudden thing. It seems like I don't know this for certain. I'm just going off the comments and all that it was not expected. That was just. He passed in his sleep, from what I can tell. I don't know what from. So very sad.
And do you remember Lou Holtz?
Yep.
He's dying right now. He's
really?
89 or something like that.
Lou Holtz, former NCAA
coach.
And,
Yes. Notre Dame coach, mainly.
He's one of my favorite analysts, too.
Yeah, and he also stole one of my quotes once.
That's sad.
So, look what we have here. J.J. Bradshaw is entering. He's entering the studio. Should we be quiet or say, yeah, look at that. A 257-year-old man sitting right across from us. We got to do a better job than just this, though. I'll tell you what. We got to make this more of a entertainment piece. We got to do better than this.
This is a huge upgrade from the legal pad with your scrawl on it.
Well, I'm saying to do even better. Yeah, I've got. You know what? I got that one too. Oh, he's upside down. Yeah, it's fishing hook down. Okay. Yeah, well, that was my own interpretation. Am I blushing? I think I'm blushing. Okay, thank you so much. And this guy is an expert on the Constitution. He used to go to Yield Tavern in Virginia, and he would be there with George Washington and the other greats of our time who created this country and the Constitution, and he would give them a few pointers, I'm sure, back then. Please welcome this great guy, all the way from Rolla, Missouri, John Jeffrey Bradshaw.
Good morning, Dave.
JJ, how are you?
You know, I'm drowning in this stuff, Dave. They keep turning the faucet open, particularly Minneapolis. And I read pretty fast, but I really can't keep up with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't put everything in there. I'd be still doing my monologue if I'd want.
Yeah, they're flooding us, Dave. I think this is a vast left-wing conspiracy to drown us right-wing patriots out, a la Hillary Clinton. So yeah, let's get into it because there's so very much. Let's start with Minneapolis, St. Paul. Alex Pretty, ended up getting himself shot by ICE, and I've got a few comments about that. This guy was a legal concealed carry carrier, as are many of us, and at first I thought I was very dismayed. I hate to see one of the good guys go down, but it turns out he wasn't one of the good guys.
What made you think he was a good guy?
11 days ago, well, he's a good enough guy to get a concealed carry permit. They don't just give those away.
We're talking about Minnesota.
Pretty thorough background check on that. But it turns out, according to people that knew him pretty well, he got kicked out of the VA hospital because he was turning into a nut job. And 12 days ago now, ended up having a little altercation with ICE, ended up getting his rib broken. So this is not a real good guy. Fast forward until a couple of days ago when this guy got riddled with bullets. You got a broken rib. I've had broken ribs. They hurt like hell.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be on some opioid painkillers, and he probably had been for a couple of weeks. So I would say this guy was probably impaired to some degree. But in the broader picture, those of us who are shooters, first off, we would never go to a protest like that, not ever. But secondly, we would certainly not attend that thing armed. That's going to get you shot, and it got him shot. And it got him shot because he did stupid things. Dave, in this world, you do stupid things. Normally, you get away with them because nobody notices. But man, when somebody
Wait a minute. Thank you, God, for that.
Oh, seriously. I am blessed so much. But, you know, the guy did one stupid thing after another. You don't go carrying a gun into a fist fight with guys that have guns that are on the right side of the law and you are not. Now, is this thing going to end up being considered a bad shoot? Yeah, I think so. I think it's likely. We're going to find out. But notice that ICE had a big shakeup right after that.
Oh, yeah.
Their commander-in-chief there in Minneapolis got sent someplace else, and Tom Homan showed up there.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, they're calling in the big guns. This guy is the howitzer of ICE, and I have a great deal of respect for him. He is much like me. He is a no-nonsense guy. This is black, this is white. There's not much in between, and we're going to follow the law. And if you happen to be on the wrong side of it, you're going to be behind prison cell, behind bars.
How many presidents did he serve?
Say again?
How many presidents did he serve? Is it 6, 7?
I think there have been 7.
7, yeah.
He started with Reagan. I could do the math.
He also worked for the Clintons. He worked for Obama.
This guy is a long-term law enforcement guy. And the reason he's had this kind of longevity, Dave, is because he's no nonsense. There's no BS here. He doesn't play stupid political games. He doesn't play lawfare. He doesn't do any of that stuff. These are the rules. We're going to follow them. Any questions? Love the guy. Love the guy. No nonsense guy. Wow. He did a 36-minute talk yesterday, which I watched every moment of.
As did I.
And he was right on target.
Yeah.
And one of the things he said, the Minnesota folks have been very unwilling to cooperate with ICE. In particular, their sheriffs, deputy sheriffs, police chiefs have all been instructed by the mayor and the governor not to have anything to do with ICE. Well, I don't know what Trump did to them, but all of a sudden they backed down and said, yeah, well, when we're going to release one of these clowns from jail, maybe we ought to call ICE and have them stand by. And what Holman said was, that's one guy. It takes one guy to arrest this guy in a controlled environment, as opposed to 7 or 8 guys on the arrest team, plus 10 or 12 guys on a security team in an unsecured environment where you don't know what the hell you're walking into. So this is a vast improvement.
But they're they're tracking back and saying, no, we never agreed to that.
Well, doesn't that sound like those clowns?
Ellison, the AG.
And
I
Fry.
never agreed to that.
I watched about 5 minutes of Fry on CNN the other day, and I had to run to the bathroom to throw up. This guy is such a moron. How in the world?
They're actually getting away with stuff that's incredible, and they're trying to make it so there's enough of these illegal aliens to finally get rid of our Constitution and get rid of all the laws and start back with communism and socialism.
Yeah, you know what's kind of fun? There's a whole bunch of us not going to let that happen. So if you guys want to, they call it FAFO, and we all know what that means. If you guys want to FA, we're going to give you some FO. So that's the way that works. This Alex Pretty, back to him. He was certainly in the wrong. He was not peacefully protesting. If you saw the videotape from 2 different angles, he ended up kicking out a taillight in an ice.
Did you see the one from a week ago?
Yeah, 11 days.
Did you see that one where he kicked out the light? First of all, he's spitting on the cops.
Yeah.
He does have a gun. I wonder if they knew it back then. Right there, he has broken a bunch of laws.
Yeah.
He's also kicked out as they were leaving. He kicked out the tail light of one of the cars
and got his rib
clean off. He's a total nut.
This is not a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
By definition, a peaceful protest is you standing on the sidewalk with a stick in your hand, a sign stapled to the top of it that says, "We hate this stuff."
Yeah.
It is not throwing flashbangs back at the cops. It is not running around in the street blocking traffic. It is not a whole lot of things. And Minneapolis and the CNN and the other communists like that keep saying, well, it's just a peaceful protest. Trust your eyes, Dave. When you watch the videotape of this stuff, there's nothing peaceful about it. So
it's pretty obvious, and it's pretty obvious that it's intentioned by the Democrats who know and see what they're saying, what they're doing, what they're trying to do, and all the other people, including Biden and Hillary and her husband and a whole bunch of other people saying we will not tolerate people coming to our country illegally. We're going to send them back. Barack Obama. He did it too.
Yeah.
And a lot of them died. Anybody ever have a riot over that then?
Not at all.
No. It's something that's political. That they're also desperate because they're starting to get arrested. Okay, they're starting to find out that the 2020 election was a fake.
Yeah,
it's false. They're starting to find that out. The FBI is all over this now.
Yeah, that is actually not the next thing I wanted to talk about, but the one after that.
Okay,
talk about Georgia.
Yeah.
But let's start out with Ilhan Omar. Speaking of communists and losers, Ilhan Omar, there's videotape, 2 different angles of this, was giving a talk to some of her Nazi supporters. And a fellow with a syringe in his hand ran up to her and squirted some stuff on her, and then took off stage right, got tackled. Ilhan Omar took off after him. Now, Dave, there's a lot of terrorist stuff going on, and a lot of it gets thwarted. But if I was up there speaking and someone I did not know squirted a bunch of stuff on me, I would be headed to the John to wash it off. I would be headed to the emergency room. I would have my security guards hold this guy down and beat him to a bloody pulp. She didn't do any of that. Why?
Why is that?
Because it's a put-up job, and it is badly done. It's Jesse Smollett all over again, except he at least got it halfway believable for the first day. This thing was so obvious.
A picture of her and this guy together.
I saw a picture of them together.
Yes, together. I don't know if it's exactly the truth, but I think we got it as evidence from somebody that's. I think it was Fox News or something, and so she this is her buddy. They did a plan. Now they're going to use it, and a lot of people who don't necessarily like MAGA, they're going to go along with her.
Well, the point, though, is if you look at the non-mainstream news sources, which I monitor all the time, almost uniformly, people are saying this is badly done. This is kabuki without the makeup. It is so badly done.
Then she runs after the guy. She's with people afterwards. She didn't ask for a change of clothes or anything like that. She's told everybody how brave she was to go after. I'm not afraid of anybody.
Yes, I recognize a crock.
Will not be bullied. Right. Yes.
Now, it turns out he sprayed her with a mixture of cider vinegar and water. So essentially salad dressing without the oil. And she acted like it was no big deal, that immediate outrage. So those of us who have watched this videotape again and again and again, what a phony pile of crap that was. And it wasn't even well done. If it was well done, I might even give her applause for the effort. But this was bad. This was third grade theater. She disgusts me. I'd like to take that rag around her head and wrap it around her neck, but maybe that's just me.
But so is all this other crap. But they're my neighbors, and they have children. And meanwhile, a lot of these people have gone, and the ones that they're getting, they're criminals who are let out of jail. So now they have to figure out, they let these people out of jail. What do we do now?
Yeah,
because they're guilty, but they're not serving any jail time. So they're back out in the streets doing what? Doing whatever
they're crimes, of course.
Committing crimes, robbing, and
all right. Let's segue to the next thing, which is possibly the biggest deal out of all of this.
Okay.
And that is the subpoena and the FBI in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
All those ballots. Remember all those ballots that they were supposedly mail-in ballots, but they didn't have any creases on them from the envelope? Remember all that stuff that appeared in the middle of the night? Bondi and Company is down there looking through that, and the Georgia Election Commission is having kittens over this thing. Oh my God, there goes our chain of custody. Well, honey, your chain of custody wasn't all that good to begin with, or this wouldn't have been a phony election. They're finally looking at this.
They're looking at it. They're estimating about 350,000 phony unchecked ballots, and so it was pretty obvious to a lot of people, probably yourself, probably to me, and all of a sudden they got 1-6, and they're trying to eliminate Trump from running again because they know what they did. And they're scared. They're scared to death now. It's catching up with them, and it is. And God help us. Let's get them all to be accountable for what they did.
Oh, well, Dave, Fulton County, Georgia was just the tip of the iceberg, but it's the one where we've actually got videotape of some of this thing happening. And
sure.
Of course, they denied it, and everybody up and down their line denied it. And Trump was adamant about it, said, there's cheating going on here. I know it, you know it. And everybody said, no, this is valid. Oh, yeah, this is valid.
Well, my worry is that we're finding this out about now. But really, when it started with Barack Obama,
he
started with the people that supported Barack Obama. But and this has all been done within the last 15, 20 years. So Trump really is the guy that took it on.
Dave,
glad that he did.
Consider the revelations that are going to come out of this. Right. You can expect that after some forensic work is done by the FBI and they provide honest evidence in this thing, what's the long-term implications? Well, I think it's going to have a good thing to do with future elections. I think they'll be much tighter. But let's look in the near term. We got midterms coming up. And this was all done by a Democrat regime. I think if the timing is right, this is going to reflect very badly on the Democrats, in particular the DNC, who Obama, of course, worked with to make this thing happen. So timing is important, of course, but I think there's a likelihood, or at least a good possibility, that the midterm elections are going to be very much changed by the revelations that are going to come out of Fulton County, Georgia. I sincerely hope so.
Well, there has to be a lot of this coming out because, and Trump has to allow it. And I'm going to have the McCloskeys on later today.
I can't wait.
And you know what he does. He's got 1,538 or 1,583 signed up because Trump pardoned them because they did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them weren't even there and got convicted of stuff.
I have never met Mark or Pat, but I would like to. I think those are some folks that I could be a friend of.
They're really nice people. I have actually been at their house and taken the tour, bought them lunch, and I used to stay at the Chase Hotel, and they're 2 blocks away. They're 2 blocks away from there.
Yeah.
So I have a funny story to tell you, but I don't want to cut your time. And you got plenty of time today because I don't really have anything till 9:30. So you can keep blabbing away.
All right.
Good stuff.
The thing is, you and I can talk about this stuff all day long. It'll probably bore your listeners to death, but we have similar interests.
Sure.
Let's talk about Chuck Schumer for a minute. Chucky is one of the guys that I dislike greatly. He is a phony. He is a Marxist. He is a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat in the worst sort of way.
And he's a Jewish anti-Semite.
How about that? And Chucky Schumer has been talking about shutting down the government again over DHS funding. Well, of course, the blather over DHS funding has come from the fact that we're kicking illegal aliens out of this country, and Schumer and his buddies don't like it. They were a part of flooding this country with illegals to begin with. Schumer could have introduced legislation that would have stopped that during the Obama regime or during the Biden regime, and of course he did not do it. Why? Because his power base wanted to flood this country with illegals, and they did.
Yep.
So Chucky's hands are pretty bloody, I would say. He may not be holding one of the knives that Caesar was stabbed with, but he was at least in the building.
Yeah, but this was business too. They went down there. I remember getting some pictures of them walking down the street with the guys who were running the cartels. This is back around 2014.
There we go.
And I'm saying, what the hell is this? Well, they were getting paid for this.
Well,
they were getting paid for their drugs.
This is their power base.
Well, they were killing children. They were marketing children and women.
Yeah,
and this is the Democratic Party. And Trump came in. What does he do? He attacks one of their big contributors. That's Venezuela. And then he's got Cuba on the cusp, and he's got all these people in our hemisphere, and it's looking like he's turning them around and or going to do some things that may turn them around, because they're all losing, because Venezuela had a lot of gas and oil.
This guy, I'm talking Donald J. Trump, is not going to take any crap from any of these people.
No.
And he's proved it again and again and again. In his first year back, he has accomplished more than any president prior to him ever.
Yeah.
So the guy's doing a fine job. Well, back to our buddy Chucky Schumer, Marxist Paul that he is demanding that agents remove their masks so that they can be identified and their families harassed or killed, demanding body cameras be on each and every ICE agent, demand that they end roving patrols just looking for brown faces to pick them up. Well, Chuck, your hands are bloody in this thing. They're bloodier than any single ICE agent ever was. So, Chuck, those of us who are actually patriots, who actually love this country, who actually believe in the Constitution, say to you.
Okay. Is that a criminal thing?
I don't know. Was it?
I don't know.
Shall I do it again and we'll see?
No, maybe you need to hold a sign. We don't like you, Chuck.
I don't like Chuck. I'm not a hater. I've never been a hater, but I certainly have the capability of great amount of dislike, and I certainly dislike this moron.
And you're a dangerous guy when you have too much dislike.
No, not a danger to anyone. But Chuck, shame on you. You're making another power play from a losing hand. You lost your credibility a few months ago, so you can make all the noise you want, but I'm betting you end up primaried on the next go around.
I don't know. I don't know. That's exact, but this guy is exactly what they want. The guy who's running the House right now. What's his name again? I saw him last night. What?
You're talking about the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries?
Yeah. The nephew, apparently, of Farrakhan.
Now, there's a serious loser there, too. If you've ever listened to anything that this clown says.
I try to. It's hard. I watch these guys and these announcers. They all know he's full of it. And most of the time they do a pretty good job, but he won't stop talking.
No,
you don't want to talk. That's his job, is to talk and to lie. And if he challenges lie, he'll just go right back to it and say the same things.
Well, yeah. When he is confronted with the facts, the guy sputters. Now, if you recall with our word salad lady that the Dems put up for president, who just spit out the basket full of words and you were up to your own to make sense out of them. Jeffries is the other side of that coin. He never shuts up. And after he's made his point in maybe the first minute, he spends the next 4 minutes sullying himself. The man is a fool. He needs to shut up. He needs somebody to shut him up. Let's talk for a moment.
You got voters that are seeing all this, even Democrat voters. I mean, do you really want this country to be a socialist country? Do you really want that to happen? Do you really want your kids scared to go anywhere, go on trains and stuff because they got all these crazy people out there instead of in maybe facilities that can handle mental illness? You got them out there in trains and walking neighborhoods where your kids want to play a park or something like that. Even airplanes are subject to this. And why would you think about it, Democrats? What are you thinking about? You're ruining everybody, not just us. You're dragging us down. You're
Dave,
dragging the country down.
Midterms are coming up.
Yeah.
And historically, the party that's in power does badly in the midterms. I think this is going to be a change in that. I think there is enough egregious behavior on the part of the Democrats that a lot of the Democrats, like you just said, are saying, what is this? What are you guys doing? And who can I vote for that's going to fix this? And it won't be anything that the Democrats National Committee puts up, because they're going to put up leftist morons.
if you break down the Trump victory in 24, he had a lot of support from people in Black communities
and Hispanic.
Hispanic communities. People, were people who have brains and were at once believing what the Democrats were saying and figured out that eventually that, wait a minute, these guys are going to tear us all down.
Yeah, these guys are nuts.
How are you going to deal with in New York with the crazy guy that just got elected to be
Mamdani?
Yeah,
he's already stepping in it, and I'm so pleased.
In New Jersey's also stepping in it.
Mamdani
they're demanding already taxes from people who are successful people. What do successful people do if they're not forced to stay?
No, they leave.
They go somewhere else.
That's the whole point. Within a few weeks of his being sworn in, he's saying, "Oh my God, we've got this fiscal crisis." Well, dummy, you knew that before. All of us know that. They've given away all the money that they ever had to illegals, putting them in for 5-star hotels. So now the guy has this revelation and says, "Oh my God, we're running out of money. What are we going to do? Let's tax the rich guys."
Tax the rich.
Yeah, well, the rich guys are leaving. They're already leaving in droves. So you're going to be left with the poor Hispanics and the poor Blacks, who are the ones that actually voted for you. And they're going to find that you can't come up with what you say.
This is the big goal, is to have the whole country like this. The whole country as communist, basically.
Well, dependent on government.
Yeah, dependent on government. So they get to make all the decisions, and your opinion doesn't mean squat. That's about it. And if you get out of line, they will do things to you. They will do things
Margaret
to you.
Thatcher said in Great Britain during her tenure as prime minister, sooner or later you run out of other people's money. And there lies the problem. So this is going to be kind of entertaining for me. I'd like to watch this guy go down in flames. And I believe that's going to happen. I wonder if we're going to have...
Who are you talking about, this guy? Which guy?
Mamdani.
Mamdani, yeah.
Yeah,
he's Trump calls him a lot.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I love that he calls his enemies and talks to them.
Oh, sure.
And I'm sure they all listen. Putin listens to him. He doesn't do what he says he's going to do, but he's not incognizant of the fact that he's got to watch himself. Trump is, he's a killer. Okay. And he's a nice killer. He'll be really nice to you one day. And if you didn't do the right thing, well, there's a problem. Okay.
And speaking of that, speaking of killing,
the
Abraham Lincoln Carrier Group is over off the shores of Iran. And Trump has been telling these guys, keep fooling around and you're going to find out. Keep fooling around, and he's been talking with him. Now they're calling him, saying, "Well, maybe we ought to negotiate something." Well, Donald, you can't negotiate with these clowns. They have proved time and time again that they are kind of like the Palestinians in Gaza and Hamas. You cannot trust them. But when you put infinite firepower off of their shores, with the capability of bombing any place in their country, and that Trump knows where the Ayatollah is, that he knows where all the military leaders are. All he has to do is push that button and say, wipe those folks out.
Look at all the guys that Israel wiped out all of a sudden. They were safe in Iran.
How about that?
All right. And I'm pretty sure they worked together, Mossad and CIA and Trump.
Yes.
Sure.
Mossad's intel, from everything that I've read in the last year or so, Mossad's intel is better than any in the world, better even than ours. Why? Because they don't play by the same rules. We, on the other hand, are not fighting for our lives, or at least we don't think we are. And Mossad is.
Close.
So they operate by a different rule set. And if they say a spade is a spade, you can count on that spade being a spade.
And I think this is not just a United States problem. It's a problem all over the world about right and wrong, or communist or free it's a worldwide revolutionary war that we have to be strong enough to be able to not only win but win big,
decisively. Yeah, I agree. The Persians in Iran have been rioting lately. The last that I read, there was about 18,000 of them killed. Nobody's really sure.
Yeah.
Because you can't believe what the government says there.
Well,
But Trump has told them, hang on, we're going to help you.
Yeah.
Well, now we got a carrier group out there. Iran would love to sink the Abraham Lincoln. I don't think they got the capability.
If they did this, I would think that they wouldn't survive for long. Now, I don't know, did he get lucky, or did he have two major military operations with no casualties by chance?
You want to know how he did that, Dave?
Huh?
I'm a Vietnam veteran. And
yeah.
We could have won in Vietnam, except the stupid politicians and the other idiots kept messing with it. They did not turn it loose on the generals.
They wouldn't let you do it.
That's right. You'd take a hill, and then 3 days later, you'd take it again. Okay. Trump's not like that. He talks to his Joint Chiefs of Staff folks and says, how can we do this the most effective way? And if you need new rules, we'll make them up as we go. That's how you pull off these military coups like this. And the second thing is he doesn't allow any leaks. If this had been a Biden or an Obama or even a Bush thing, it would have leaked weeks before it actually happened, and our enemy would know what was coming. Not in the Trump camp. If you're a leaker, you're fixing to leave, and you're fixing to spend some time behind bars thinking about what you did leaking this stuff.
You got it. So, okay, my buddy. Listen, I think I got to go now because I got to run a commercial, but you've been on a good half an hour, And I mean,
I hope you're
half hour.
I hope your listeners and watchers are thrilled about the prospect.
Write to me. Tell me what you think of J.J. Bradshaw over here, because I think he's a great guy and he's very smart. And we've been together on this show just about from the beginning, isn't it?
Long time.
Almost 18 years. He was 17. And I was 14.
Yeah.
We wish.
We never dated. Dave, it's been my pleasure, and I'll be talking with you again next Friday.
Right. Hi to the wife, and let's hear it for John Jeffrey Bradshaw.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. All right. What a great guest he is. Okay, let's see. Let's do that McDonald's thing. Since we didn't run it on the commercial, the McDonald's bit, the two bits, one from Shirley and the other one from Mr. Parrott.
Okay, let's see. Gotta share my screen.
Yeah. While we're doing that, don't you just love having to be able to talk to people like that who you can understand? And I mean, I like to argue with people, but it's nice to know that there are people that have their minds, not overdrawn like most people do. You got it?
Yep.
All right, let's go. Yep. We got another one coming up. So this is really cute. Do you ever see a parrot who might become Ronald McDonald?
No.
Can we have that as a? No, I don't think so.
I'm concerned it's not showing up because
it's not showing up.
I'm sharing the screen too, so I'm not sure why. But I'm watching back the live feed and we can hear it.
Yeah,
but
you can't see because this is a visual, definitely.
Yeah, and it's.
Is that parent anti-police?
Well, no, he kids with them. He kids with them, but he's not demonstrating. He says things that are funny. He's a comedian. Are we doing it or?
I'm going to try to share the screen a different way. I'm going to bring it up and then share it and see if that makes a difference. Because to me, it should be showing, but okay. So we're going to try it this way and see how it does here.
All right.
Stop! It's my snack! Let go of my snack! I want to share it with my friends today! They can't touch me, Copper! Stop! It's my snack! Let go of my snack! I want to share it with my friends today!
Yeah.
They can't touch me, Copper!
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So now it's working. So,
oh, now it's working. So okay.
I have to do it that way. So, yeah. So that was apparently I can't share the screen and then click on it. It's still sharing the wrong screen. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's. Have we done? We've done both commercials.
No, we still got one more to do.
Okay. Let's go to commercial and we'll come back with some other stuff. And if you want to call the show, 573-578-2700. Get it off your chest.
With warmer temperatures right around the corner and allergies ramping up, now's the time to get those AC units serviced. At Hartley's, we pride ourselves in offering outstanding service with fast response times. With proper maintenance, you can make those hot days be a lot cooler and remove those pesky allergens that always seem to find their way into your home. Call us today so you can be living a much cooler and healthier life. Hartley's, community born, community raised, community serving.
Call Hartley's Climate Control today at 573-368-3163.
Never be too coy to tell your friends and family about Koi Sushi and Hibachi. Celebrate the best Chinese-Japanese restaurant in the Midwest. Call 573-426-5551 to make a reservation or order takeout. Locally owned, 1808 North Bishop, Rolla, Missouri.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is two words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Merrill's Quarry and Asphalt, 40 years serving cities, counties, and everyday businesses with driveways for people who live and work in our little piece of heaven right smack dab in the middle of America. Call 573-578-9101 for your free estimate of rocking, rolling, paving, driveways, sealing, and striping too. That's 573-578-9101 for your free estimate.
Your home is your castle, you don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments, that's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our number one goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Busy schedule? Let your locally owned Price Chopper help you save time with online shopping. It's easy. Sign up to tcmarkets.com or download our mobile app in the App Store or Google Play. Create an account and browse through the categories and choose the items you need. When you place your order, your personal shopper will get all of the items you've selected, taking the same care you would and following your notes. We offer free curbside pickup, so you don't even have to get out of your car. Start your online order today and no online shopping fee for a limited time. Go to tcmarkets.com or download our mobile app to get started. Price Chopper. Fresher savings every day. Insurance going up like crazy? Daniel and Henry Insurance is one of the largest private insurance companies in the world. Richard Boyette, 314-444-5011. He's my guy at Daniel and Henry for 10 years. Business or personal, call Richard at 314-444-5011. He's the best.
Hey, Weinbaum fans. PRC of Rolla's annual Banquet for Life is coming up on March 5th. Join us for an amazing meal and an unforgettable evening as the pro-life faithful come together for the cause of life. Go to supportmyprc.com and click on the banquet link to register. Thanks to our corporate sponsors, your cost to attend this event is covered, but you'll be asked to make a donation at the end of the event. Go to supportmyprc.com to register or call 573-368-5700.
At Town & Country Bank, we are committed to providing exceptional service to our customers. We do more than just provide loans for our community. We help make dreams become reality. Whether it's a new home, farm, business, or a new car, we would love the opportunity to help. Stop by one of our 2 Rolla locations and let our friendly lending team remind you how special hometown banking can be. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Back and we're going to play one thing and then we have a guest in. We're going to introduce him soon. Yes.
Found out that apparently a couple of things we played were not coming through at all due to how something with the sharing here. So I'm going to do it the way that I know works. So that way everybody has a chance to actually see this and hear it, because it's
the people here in Greenland. How do you guys feel about becoming part of the United States?
It's good.
Would you rather be a part of the United States or Denmark?
United States.
And you? United States or Denmark?
United States.
What makes you guys excited about potentially becoming a part of the United States?
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
We want fast food.
Now let's go talk to the people here in Greenland.
okay. So now I'm going to reshare again, so let everybody know what we're doing here.
So you're doing the bird one?
We're going to do the bird one again, just to
All
make
right.
sure that they get a chance to see this.
Stop! It's my snack! Let go of my snack! I want to share it with my friends today! They can't touch me, Copper! Stop! It's my snack! Let go of my snack! I want to share it with my friends today! They can't touch me, Copper!
Okay, I get this.
Stop!
Hopefully people, contact us and let us know.
I was watching it.
Yeah.
I was watching on the live feed, and I could.
So now you figured this out, right? And so in the future you can do this.
Yep.
Good. Well, thinking about people who should be straightened out. I have a person who's a nice guy. He's just a peach. He's a Missouri state representative from Crocker, Missouri. He's running for senator, while he and his wife have personally driven down the price of eggs for America. Please welcome our representative running for Senate, Don Mayhew.
Thank you, Dave.
Yes.
And, I've always thought that you were on the Earn As You Learn program. So, yeah, you make improvements every day to your program.
I try to.
But I can actually prove that I drove down the price of eggs because, when I made the big leap into the egg business and, when eggs were like $9 a dozen. And of course, now to make sure that I can't even break even. Now they're back down to what, $1.75 a dozen or something like that.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You can't make a living doing this? So you did it. You were a part of the raise the price. You're hearing a confession from our representative here that he drove the prices up.
So
and now you're complaining because the prices are going down. I don't understand.
Well, so you'd be against cattle farmers then actually making money on cows now. Then, if I'm following your train of thought.
Listen, I got the raw end of some stuff too in what I do.
Yeah, no,
not raw, but it's we have the same problems.
Well, you could have done what
I have people running me.
Well,
is what I have.
You could have done what some of your competitors do: is drill holes into your hamburger patties and call them flavor. Flavor cells or something.
That's the one thing I won't do. I won't compromise my product.
I am actually happy to hear that. So.
Yeah. What's the difference between duck eggs and chicken eggs?
Oh boy, I don't know. There's probably something here, but nothing's coming to mind right off the bat. I didn't expect that question this morning. Can I get back to you on that?
No, my wife can tell you.
Oh, you mean besides the fact that one produces ducks and the other one produces chickens?
No, tell them.
They have big yolks.
I didn't think that would come off as a joke, but it kind of did.
It's just too weird.
They have big yolks.
Unlike Dave, who has no big jokes.
I wasn't going to say that.
He ain't even got little yolks.
Big blustering yolks. That's what I got. So now that we've covered that territory, now actually she eats duck. Why do you eat those?
It's part of an anti-inflammatory experiment, shall we say?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mom, didn't realize that there was those kind of qualities in
not
duck
that
eggs.
not that your eggs are inflammatory. We know they're not.
I can prove that eggs are inflammatory.
I like eggs. I like them all
because I've eaten a lot of eggs in my day. And
since you went into the business, have you eaten a lot of eggs more than?
I ate about the same number of eggs.
Yeah.
I have not increased or decreased my egg intake, whether or not I'm in the business or not.
Do you harvest your chickens?
I am not in that part of the business.
Answer the question, please. Do you harvest your chickens and have chicken dinners?
So, I've grown up on a farm. That is, that was a common thing. Is that once a chicken quit doing what chickens are supposed to do, then they became chicken and dumplings. But as I've said before, even on this show, is that little did I know there's some kind of vague constitutional reference to the fact that you can't turn a chicken into chicken and dumplings if it has a name. And so unfortunately,
do you have a copy of that particular law?
Oh, my attorney, who also operates as my wife and the CEO of the chicken business, she has informed me that is absolutely in there somewhere. And who am I to disagree?
So what do you do? You have an old age home for chickens?
That's exactly what I've got. And fortunately,
and they're non-producing chickens.
Yes, I do have an.
Do they play that new game? What's that racket game again?
Pickleball.
Do they play pickleball?
So
you got a pickleball court for the old chickens?
No pickleball, but I do. They do have friends who stop by occasionally.
Yeah. They do. Really?
Yeah.
They fly in or.
A couple of really good.
Did they fly in by like Delta or something?
No, they just walk in. I've got a couple of local foxes who come in and have dinner with my chickens on occasion.
They have dinner with your chickens.
With my chickens, on occasion.
Dinner with. How do you mean that with your chickens?
Well, with can cover a lot of ground there. You can be sitting at the table or you can be on the table in that case.
So what is your responsibility for this now? Are you breaking some kind of law?
Which one?
The one where you're letting your chickens exposed to these terrible wolves.
It's laissez-faire is a process that we follow. It's
laissez-faire.
Yeah, laissez-faire. Yeah. What will be. Que sera, sera. So my perspective is it reduces my total inputs by the reduction in the total amount of chicken feed that I have to supply.
So if we were to compare your chicken constitutionally, are you like for or against sanctuary chicken
sanctuary?
Yeah, chicken sanctuary. What do you call your little huts?
No, I'm
chicken
coops.
Schmucks, yeah,
they're called coops, Dave.
Yeah, chicken coops.
I realize that.
Is there? Where does the law stop and the coop begin?
Once again, that's just a question for our Supreme Court. That's not for just a common man to ponder. That's more of a constitutional question that we need to.
But if you're allowing these animals to come in to their
mix together and
coop,
all that kind of stuff,
I don't know. I mean, do they actually, they can't have babies together? They're different.
So are those
animals.
All chicken questions on your page?
No, actually, I haven't started my questions yet.
Oh.
I figured I had 10 minutes to kill. So what the hell?
Hey.
And he's early, and I don't usually honor him when he's early, and I'm being a nice guy because I am a nice guy, and I think he likes to be here. Do you like to be here, Don, or are you just suffering through it?
Well, I actually do it as a favor to you. That it increases the number of people who listen to your show.
Yeah.
That we finally get a little humor injected into the conversation. So
you've always been a joke.
I don't.
You know that, whether you know it or not. You've always been a joke.
I don't mind helping you out, Dave. That's me.
Keep going. This is great.
I'm all about.
Are
the
you
little
writing
people.
this down? I mean, geez. Oh God, I love this guy because he's a joke. So are you for or against? See, now I'm getting into the meat here.
Okay, all right.
9:31. I'm getting into the meat. Are you for or against sanctuary cities?
Well, what is a sanctuary city? Are we talking about Quasimodo or
descriptions? A sanctuary city is you don't get to arrest or do anything to, except maybe feed them and house them, send them to your schools. You don't get to do anything that might even resemble a criminal activity, much less flying them back to their own countries.
So first of all,
these are aliens, and
well, it could be other things too. I mean, for that matter, you could have a sanctuary city for heroin. Right.
Yeah.
And so
we do have some of those, I think.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Where a blind eye is turned toward certain illegal activity. We have I love it when people complain about having food deserts. Whenever that we don't have grocery stores, but when your administration has allowed people to walk in and take whatever they want out of the store without paying for it. The term sanctuary would tend to indicate that there's an oppressive act going on where people have to act publicly out or prevent some activity that is perhaps not allowed by law, but the government is impressing on folks. So in this particular case, we have a common set of laws which tell us how to operate. It's the only way our society works, right? We are a country built on our laws. And everyone has to follow those laws. Now, you can like or dislike the law all you want. Doesn't change the fact that the law is there. And we have 3 branches of government who are involved in this entire process. And in order for that system to work, we have to follow the process. Now, you can not like our immigration system, but when it comes to enforcing the law, we have to have the enforcement mechanisms in place. We have to follow the law. Otherwise, the law means nothing.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. However, the states say, well, we have to follow our law before you follow your law. And if you break our law, we want you out.
Well, except for, and let's face it, both sides of the aisle have had issues with this in the recent past. But when we agree to be part of the United States, we agree to the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the United States, we all agreed, has supremacy over even our state constitution. Now, we can quibble with the details of that, but the process isn't to avoid or fight against it. It is to follow the process laid down in that very same Constitution for making changes that you think are correct. And if the majority decide that that's what we need to do, then we will.
Well, I think we have a solution to this, JP, because if you play that clip with this guy, his name is Rick. It's not Fuentes. It's something else. But he's got a solution from that. Yeah.
I'll
Minnesota.
have to do the same thing. Yeah. I'll get it queued up and then.
Get it queued up. And in the meantime, I was going to ask you and answer this after we see this clip. Is St. Louis comparable to a sanctuary city? And here you go. Listen to this.
Okay, I think I have a compromise. This whole Minnesota thing. Not everyone's going to be happy. That's what happens with compromises. But just hear me out. We give Minnesota to Canada in exchange for Alberta. Now, wait, just listen. Canada gets what it likes. Marxists and refugees which defraud their welfare system. And America gets what it likes. Normal people. And oil. Lots of oil. I'm just saying it's worth considering.
Well, it also eliminates our cross the border thing with the XL pipeline, right?
Yeah.
I
know Trump wants to take Canada anyways.
There would be a lot of trading that I would absolutely go along with.
Yeah.
For instance, my friends in the St. Louis area may or may not disagree. They might actually agree. Is that I have no problem with the city of annexing into Illinois. Illinois provides all the things that they really want. In some form or fashion, matches up with their political ideals. I think it's probably time, Trump's talking about adding new land to the United States. Well, we should here in the United States make some more of these divisions as far as state boundaries are concerned. I see no problem with that. And
is that really on the schedule? Are people looking at that, or
no? Goodness, no.
Are you just BSing?
I was just kind of giving
it sounds like a good idea, maybe.
I was giving a local, and the same is true on the
you
Kansas City
have
side.
Cities.
You want to put the Chiefs back into Kansas City. Well, let's just make all Kansas City, Kansas, right? Solves a lot of our problems out here in the hinterlands, right? We don't have to pay for a stadium that we get zero benefit out of.
So while people are saying he's crazy, I'll let you save yourself on saying you're not really meaning what you're saying.
So
some people will believe that.
So I've been accused of those things before, so it wouldn't be the first time. But no, it's a thought, what we call a thought experiment, right?
I thought you were going to say faux pas.
And so the guy about the Alberta thing, why not, right? Everybody gets what they want out of that.
Well, look at what Trump did with Greenland. For goodness, look what he did with Venezuela. Look at what he's doing with all these countries in the Middle East.
Well, as you recall, it might not have been a conversation here, but as you recall, when people were clutching their pearls and hand wringing over, our military going in and forcibly taking Greenland. And you might remember that I had suggested that, hey, if you just read Donald Trump's book, you know what this is.
Yeah.
It's negotiation, right?
Yeah.
And, those who complain about him and about how his tactics and everything, they won't lower themselves to read his book. But truthfully, just read the book. Yeah. It tells you everything you need to know. Yeah. And it actually would put them in a better position to argue against his points or whatever they want to do.
Sure.
But the reality is that
I get it.
The goal never was to have the 51st state of the union being Greenland, right? Why would we want to pick up two more Democrat, seats in the Senate? It was always about guaranteeing that Greenland would maintain in the security sphere of the United States. And so people say, oh, well, we don't have to worry about that because Europe is our friends. Well, let's just do a little more thought experiment here. France will be a Muslim country by 2035.
Yeah.
England is well on its way.
Yeah.
Germany, we've already
Ireland,
seen what happened to them when they tried to reverse some of these idiotic immigration things that were going on there.
Yeah.
But the truth is that 100 years from now, Europe is going to look totally different.
Yeah.
And many of them countries are not going to, well, I'm not saying we're going to be at war, but I'm going to say that they're not going to be as friendly.
Well,
in fact, I doubt seriously that NATO survives the immigration process. And people will argue that, oh, no, that can never happen. Well,
it's happening.
Remember all the alliances from prior to World War I.
Yeah.
And then look at the alliances just 20 to 30 years later in World War II. There were people who flipped sides in all of that, right?
Right.
So the reality is that the global arrangement of things can change fairly quickly. What we want to do here in the United States is we want to make sure that the United States is secure for the next 100 years. And we also saw what happened with Canada. Our good friends to the north now are making deals with the Chinese, who are, without a doubt, I don't think anybody argues that they're not our global enemy, right? And
they are, they are their global.
So is there a logical, common sense reason? Absolutely, 100%.
Sure.
And a permanent agreement with them to maintain security, not just for the United States, but for Greenland and also Europe,
and for Canada.
Important. And for Canada, absolutely.
I mean, what are those guys thinking? He put 100% tariff on them, which is fine,
Well, they're thinking like all politicians do. They're thinking about 10 minutes from now, not 10 years from now.
Well, that's right. And Trump is very, very future focused. It's almost like he's a time traveler, and he may just be. They may just be. I've had guys up here who said, well, he may not have done that, but they have a book in 1890s, early 1900s about Baron Trump living in Manhattan. Okay, so you have to wonder how did that happen? I had the guy on my show just last week.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I can't comment on that because I haven't read the book, but the reality is that in this society right now, where we have reduced everyone's frontal lobe down to a 30-second soundbite, and that is that's by design.
People don't read.
We want you to.
I don't read enough.
We want you to react emotionally to everything,
yeah.
and so while. Probably in the future, Donald Trump is viewed as a genius. The reality is that he's a normal, average, everyday, ordinary, common sense person. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see these things. You just got to use your frontal cortex.
Yeah.
And we train that out of kids at a very early age.
Yeah.
And God bless our public school system. But truthfully, the realities here are that the ones who do use their frontal cortex are typically our challenges, right?
Yeah.
Those kids are the ones that are thinking ahead, and we do a lot of stuff to put them back into the mold, put them back into the average box, and so one of the bills we heard this week, as a matter of fact, had to do with trying to focus some more resources on those gifted kids, and now. Admittedly, we're moving that program into a department that's all about mediocrity. But if we don't get started going back towards, as Donald Trump says, exceptionalism in our education system, then this goes even farther down.
Yeah.
The other things that we have done in the past, and when we're moving toward more of that, in fact, I have a bill that requires that if you're going to have one of these social media pages and you're under 16 years old, that social media company has to connect mom's Facebook account with the child's Facebook account.
I think that's a great idea.
So anything that happens on that,
because you got a couple of lawsuits up there right now. with these kids and
those
people
companies,
like Facebook.
And those companies have enough money to make that go away.
Well, sure. They'll give them a couple million, and you'll never hear about it again.
You'll never hear about it again.
Two of them already did that.
Mm-hmm.
But Facebook and another company is already still on the line to testify.
When I read the most disturbing statistic, which made me want to file something on this, was when I found out that 12% of young women under 18 years old, 12% had contemplated suicide after being on Facebook.
Yeah.
Now that's not Don Mayhew doing that. That was a national study. I need to track down the reference on that so that when people challenge me on that. But I don't even care if that was, the University of Zimbabwe that did the study. Not that the University of Zimbabwe is not. But,
is that where you graduated?
The reality is that even if the tiny bit of that is true, even if it's 1%, that is enough for us to be concerned about.
Sure.
And it should be the concern of Facebook and Twitter and all of those folks, because this is we've read the reporting on it, we've seen it. It happens almost every day about some kid who, because of involvement in these social media pages, we just saw this one kid who was friends on this Roadblocks or whatever, goes to meet probably what he thought was another kid his age, and now this kid's missing. Well,
yes,
folks, that's the
it's
child.
It's
the child
happening
predator,
around here too,
right? The child predators don't have to circle the playground anymore. Right?
They do it by social media.
Absolutely. And no way to track them. These companies refuse to help out. And what does that tell you? That tells you that the only thing they're concerned about is that advertising dollar. That's it. They don't care about their customers. And so if government has a place, the government has to react to those kind of situations. Just absolutely has to.
I think you're right. I hate to say that. Have I ever said that before? I think you're right. In fact, I have a grandchild, who's 10 years old, and he's in one of those things. Mm-hmm. All my grandchildren are pretty sharp, and they all get like straight A's and stuff like that. But this kid, and I can see the potential in him, and he's an athlete. And, I got an older one that's 15. He's number one in his school, but he's not in that.
Right.
He's number one in his school, and he's, he was a wrestler. Now he's a golfer, and he was a football player too.
In 1 year, when we why we had to pass a statewide law for this is beyond me, that restricted cell phone use in our schools. Administrators tell me that in just that 1 year, scores have gone up.
Yeah.
And so amazing grace. And I always point this out to school administrators. There was nothing in state law which would have prevented you from having your own policy as far as cell phones are concerned. But unfortunately, like a lot of government, the folks at different levels don't want to have to put up with the phone calls and everything. They just rather pass that on to us somewhere higher up. And so certain administrators say, well, don't complain to me. The state made us do that. Well, those same administrators are the ones who came and told us, hey, we need this law, right?
Yeah.
And I had responded to some of them. I said, but you can create a policy right now. Go ahead and create the policy. Well, you know what's going to happen if we do.
Never go with the flow until you know where the waterfalls are.
Well,
how's that?
Well, you know me. It's frequently I'm swimming upstream right next to a waterfall. So,
who are you talking? Do you have a waterfall by your house?
So my whole life is one big waterfall.
Oh, so you were being figurative.
Yeah, that's a that's a.
But you could live. You could live in an area where you have a waterfall. They have waterfalls in this in this state. I know they do.
Really,
but I don't know.
Can you think of one right off the top of your head?
Yeah. In fact, I think it's right near where Ed and Mary live. There's a waterfall and a big cave there.
The biggest one's down just south of here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's I can't remember the name of it now. Isn't that terrible? But
I think their land borders on the damn thing.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so he's got a farmer.
What's in the?
He's a chicken farmer too. He's one of your competitors.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's far enough away. He's not affecting my customer base. So
I think his wife has a lot to do with it too.
Yeah.
So they're the co-grandparents to our children.
Oh, cool. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
what else you got?
Well, what else I got? I got so much, it's ridiculous. So, so what are your thoughts knowing what Trump is about? Did you ever have any concept that he was this? There's one thing about being a business guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's another thing about being a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can, that's really rude. You're talking on the phone while I'm trying to come up with a question for you.
I am multitasking.
Oh my God.
Can do.
This is one of the things. Do we have a rule in this thing? No phones unless it's a call for us.
Oh, come on. This is not elementary school.
This is. Yeah. Well, you're right. Okay, Don. Yeah, this isn't elementary school. Anyways, so
now,
Trump.
Hang on a second. Well, stop the jokes. Well, some people's jokes I've reached that level.
Yeah, well, sometimes you'll understand them. When you grow up, maybe you'll understand them.
Go ahead. What do you need?
So Trump asks Putin to withhold bombing in Ukraine for a week. Okay, now this is the kind of thing that tells you something about him.
Right.
He's reaching into the souls to find out what makes people tick.
Right.
And then he goes after what is important to them. Now, he's trying to prove here that this guy's either going to sign a deal or he isn't. And one of the tests, and he's not showing a follow through because he's bombing the hell out of the Ukraine. Okay. Mm-hmm. Zelensky is looking like he wants to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
All right. So he's giving him a little test about this. And he's got one or two solutions. They sign a deal, or they're going to tariff the hell out of the USSR or Russia, whatever you want to call it. So, and I think Putin is smart enough to understand that. Notice he didn't attack when Trump was in office. He attacked when Biden was in office, and Biden practically invited him in.
Well, so this is not, once again, this is not rocket science. Putin realizes that he's got the advantage in both in numbers all the way across, and he doesn't care about how many he loses.
No, he don't care.
Zelensky can do the math pretty easy. He's a country of 1.2 million people. You're killing 5,000 of them a day.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long to figure out that you're going to run out before they run out. And so the only thing that can change that trajectory is to make it more painful for the adversary. Well, it's really hard to do when your adversary doesn't really care about the number of people that you lose. And so there's no real public outcry. Whatever public outcry there is, he's got a secret police.
But there's always a next step.
Well, so the point of all that is
that's what Trump does. He always has a next step.
Absolutely, and he has predicted those steps out. But Putin is just positioning himself better for this final deal. That is obvious as it can be. And I think Zelensky's point was, and well taken, that if I am the first guy to back up, that's going to be perceived as weakness.
Yes.
And that will encourage Putin.
Exactly.
And honestly, he's right. And we can predict that. But so did Donald Trump.
Right.
But so Donald Trump's response to that was, don't do it, Vladimir. Right. Yeah. Because you are going to invite me to, put these bigger, fancier missiles in. Nobody wants that, not even Putin, because that escalates into a wider problem. And but Putin also knows, to say that exactly is like, okay, you put those in there, then you open the door for me to do whatever battlefield tactical nukes, whatever.
Yeah.
And so that there is all that escalation. So now it's down to where we're going to draw the line. and finally, we're down to the point where we drawing the line, right? Well, there's probably still some more options in there where, security agreements going both ways, where that Donbass region, I probably got the name wrong, becomes a demilitarized zone, something like that. We know those don't work, but over time, they tend to either escalate a conflict or make the conflict irrelevant. Yeah. And so one place where it's working to a limited degree, but maybe not as well, is in Korea, right, where we have the demilitarized zone. It has kept them from going to a hot war, and it's put North Korea in a position where they are on the verge of collapse. The wild card in all of that is they ended up with a nuclear weapon. Why? China, Russia, right?
Oh, well, but I wanted to talk to you about what happens with the oil situation in Venezuela and what effect that has had on China and all the other places in America, in the Caribbean, especially, and what they can do to Putin, because he was getting a lot of gas out of Venezuela. All right, and now they actually pulled a ship, a Russian ship, and got it denied,
right,
as a war action against the United States. I think they still have the ship.
Well,
okay, this has got to enter into Putin's mind too. Is he going to escalate from here against the United States? I don't think so.
Well, all this was about was basically the Monroe Doctrine, stabilizing our hemisphere.
Yeah,
because that's you got to get your backyard in order first. So Cuba's been a problem for the United States since the late 50s. Now, what that was causing was, classically the old LBJ domino effect.
Yeah.
We saw Venezuela and other countries who were snubbing their nose and taking all the cheese from Russia and China, which was causing a destabilizing effect on our side. Well, after this, now the operation in Venezuela, look at all the side benefits we get out of that.
Oh,
we see a trend towards stabilization there. The narco terrorists now they've been put on notice that we're not going to put up with this anymore.
Yeah.
Cuba is now in a box.
Yeah,
and that will eventually, and probably sooner than later, we're going to see that there be a regime change down there without us having to fire a single shot. Now, what that has done globally is because, as you just pointed out, China was getting some, pretty cheap energy from Venezuela, and so causing a destabilizing effect globally. Yeah. Well, so I'm not certain that that's a bad position to be in.
Well, I think it affects everything out there. For example, Mexico.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Mexico is now been informed that the cartels there are considered to be terrorists in the United States.
Well,
they're open game.
Well, you saw what China did as the counter to it is that they went and cozied up to the communists running Canada right now.
Okay,
and so our counter move was
100%.
I went around and I looked.
Stupid.
I tried to find a single thing that said "Made in Canada" in my house.
Yeah,
I couldn't find anything.
That's my point. They have booze.
So
Canadian whiskey is about it.
So I'm not certain this was a good idea on Canada's part, right?
Well, they get a lot more stuff than we do. It's that simple.
Right.
It's that simple. A lot more usable stuff. Cars. What are they going to do about cars?
Yeah.
You're going to buy cars now from the USA with 100% tariff? You're going to try to sell a car that you might make to the United States?
They depend,
ain't going to happen.
They depend so heavily on us for tourism alone. It forms a huge. United States tourism into Canada forms such a huge part of their economy. I mean, I've gone up there fishing a couple of different times.
Yeah,
and the funny story on that one was that we went up there and we had a 5-pound sack of potatoes because you can't eat fish without potatoes, right? And so we crossed the border. They asked us,
"Honey, is he right?"
I don't know.
I've done that.
I haven't been fishing.
I've done that.
Fish and chips. Come on, seriously.
Yeah, come on. That's English.
So they asked us if we had any produce, and we said, yeah, we got some potatoes. And it's like, you can't bring them into Canada. You got to put them in that dumpster. Well, this dumpster was full of potatoes. Right? And which I think the only reason they did that was to, so the Border Patrol guys could, resupply on potatoes. So we get into Canada and we go to the first grocery store we get to and buy a sack of potatoes. Guess what? The exact same brand of potatoes is being sold in Canada as we bought over in Minnesota. And so I asked the lady, I said, so is there some kind of deal about potatoes or something? She goes, no. She says a truck comes across the border every week with a load of potatoes, right? They get all their potatoes from the United States. All
right. I tell you what, I got a guest coming on.
Yep.
And so you can leave early. I know you're a busy person. And I had more questions for you, but we got it. Unless you want to hang out, I don't mind.
I would love to, but I got to be on another radio show.
Oh, well, and, you're a busy guy. I understand. Yeah. So other than Dave Weinbaum show, where can people find you and contribute?
So I am, I got Mayhew from Missouri as my website, and on there you will find opportunities to participate and check me out a little bit further. Obviously, I'm on Facebook and all that kind of stuff too. But yeah, come and check me out and get any questions for me.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you know a heifer is upset?
A heifer? Is that some kind of racial
heifer?
Is that a heifer?
Heifer. How do I know
it's a Jewish pronunciation? Yeah, how do you know a heifer is upset?
A virgin cow, in other words.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you know a heifer is upset?
I've seen many of them upset, but I've never known the reason why.
They're having a cow. Jeez. Why do I have to suffer through?
So wrong.
I'm suffering through. Okay, let's hear it. Yeah, give him the whole thing. What do you know from?
What do you know from funny, you bastard?
There you go. Now we're leaving on a good tone. And who's next for this show? Let's hear it for Don Mayhew. Okay, thank you, Don. Now my next guest, and we're right on time, by the way. Well, about a minute late. Sorry. Of course, he's pretty talkative. To get him out in a minute early is not good. It doesn't happen. There he goes. This man lives by a diet of gefilte fish and pizza. That doesn't sound good to me. He's fixing Wyoming and the rest of our country to stop communism, starting with socialism. Please welcome the expert on this, who's also an author of the book Rules for Defeating Radicals, Chris Adamo. Hi, Chris.
Howdy. Hey, I got a question for you.
What's that?
How do you know that your podcast host isn't from Wyoming?
You're not from Wyoming. You're from California.
Talking about you. How do we know you're not from Wyoming? You can't pronounce heifer?
He's a city boy.
I am a city boy,
Boy.
I was going to wait till the end of the program for that one, but I
see the way it's spelled. To me, it was a heifer. I knew it was some kind of cow or bull or something. I'm just learning what a bull is, for God's sakes. From you, I learned what bull S is. Bull.
Well, I can tell you about the BS routine from leftists, and boy, are they in high gear this week.
Yeah.
Hey, on a serious note, I want to tell you there's a great post from General Flynn from his Substack, and I should have written the title here. Maybe I'll send it to you in a minute if I can after I'm off. But he talks about the fact that what we're seeing, this whole Minneapolis situation, the whole media coverage of it and everything is textbook Alinsky. Yep. He is absolutely right about that. And you've got Republicans. I can name a few names for you, but you've got Tom Tillis is one of them from North Carolina. He's a Republican. He's a rhino. He's a coward. And
he was a big football coach, wasn't he?
I have no idea what he did, but he sure isn't a principled conservative, because he's out there now doing the backpedal routine that the Democrats want you to do. And the Democrats are always looking for a Republican coward to side with them so they can say, hey, we have bipartisan agreement that what's going on with ICE is wrong. And there's Tillis. He steps right up in there. And so a total disgrace.
Josh Hawley was thinking of fighting. And Trump laid into him, and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Josh Hawley was doing that.
Right? Yeah,
that's shameful.
That's
just
about him. But he says, I told him I was wrong, and I apologize.
Yeah, that's a total betrayal, and but that's what they count on. This is how the left operates. And what we've got to do with these situations, what we've always got to do is take them back to the basic premise. Okay, let's skip over. And believe me, I have pages full of stuff here about all the absurdities that the left has been spewing for the last week. Let's go back to the basic issue. Should Americans be securing their borders and getting rid of people who are not only here illegally, but committing crimes against America once they're here? Should we be getting rid of those people? The answer is an unequivocal yes.
Well, yeah. Now, and what other countries are letting all the people in?
Exactly.
And those are turning into Muslim paradises.
And all of the excuses that they give, all of the phony moral posturing and everything, it's not for the purpose of ensuring rights and freedom and equity and safety for prisoners or whatever. It's the whole purpose behind this is to fill America with hostile foreigners who will vote Democrat. Because at the root of everything that's going on here is the defining issue of the future of the country. Yeah. Will the Democrats be able to have enough fraudulent votes to steal elections as time goes on?
Sure.
That's the real issue. And everything that they bring up, we need to take it back to that, because that's the only issue that really counts. They will make total excuses for the Somalis. They'll make total excuses for the violence, everything else. That's the only real issue that counts.
Did you see the Ilhan Omar, I'm so brave and fearless over that evil man who tried to kill her, as she bravely stood up time and bravely bragged about it. Your take on that? Did you find out who that guy really was?
Yeah, I've seen pictures of the two of them together posing, and he's a leftist, and it was staged. I'll tell you something. You remember the name Matthew Shepard?
Who?
Matthew Shepard.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, back in Wyoming, 1998. He was a homosexual. He was actually, the reality was he was involved in a drug deal that went bad.
Yeah.
And so the drug dealers, it's like mob activity. So they tied him up to a fence out somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and he died of exposure. But he was a homosexual. So it was all about anti-gay. It was all from coast to coast. You heard nothing else. They made movies about him and everything. Matthew Shepard was the martyr of the homosexuals because of all of that homophobia on the right. Totally changed the subject from what really happened. But it was, the left was, they were on a roll because they had a moral high ground they could take, because we hate homosexuals, and tie them up out in the middle of nowhere so they can die of exposure. Okay. In the wake of that, there were fake hate crimes all over the place. You had people staging every kind of odd thing. This is like Jussie Smollett. That's what you're seeing with Ilhan Omar. Okay. Yeah. They've got to get on their moral high ground. And when they think they can, then they do a stunt like she did. And now,
they become famous for it.
Exactly. And now if you try to get a Somali rapist arrested, you're as bad as that guy that sprayed poison, cyanide and Zyklon B all over Ilhan Omar and tried to kill her.
What was the guy's name? Fritty?
I don't remember, but you know what it was? It was vinegar. It was apple cider vinegar that he sprayed on her.
Yeah, well, the people recognize the fact that she didn't go change her clothes or run to the bathroom to clean up. So it was not a well thought out thing.
Well, bottom line is there's a scripture that says, "Be sure your sin will find you out." Leftists do this all the time. Here's the key, though. Going back to Tom Tillis and going back to all the grandstanding we've seen, the key to all of this is if we on the right stay firm on what is the truth, what is right and wrong, this backfires on them.
Yes.
If we operate out of cowardice, which is what they're counting on, and I'm going to tell you right now, too many on the right give them this latitude. If we operate out of cowardice and, I've got to prove that I'm not xenophobic or homophobic or whatever they want to attack me. I got to prove that. I'm going to come out and say, I support Ilhan Omar, and boy, was she brave, and what a hero, and all that. We end up giving them the cover that they want.
I've been following Joe Rogan for a while, and he used to support people like Warren and what's his name, the old guy that was as a Democrat, old guy ran for president. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, couldn't tell you. There's lots of old Democrats. Oh,
come on. All right. Anyways, Joe, he started talking trash about Republicans in the Minneapolis situation. Like, this is terrible. They got to stop this. And I'm saying, what the hell's the matter with this guy? He seemed like a smart guy. He got Trump on the show.
You're talking about Rogan?
Yeah.
Well, he has no moral guideposts.
I'm trying to lay it into him because, come on, now he's reverting back to what he was under when he was praising Trump. Now he's going back to praising Trump and to saying this is not right. They can't do this.
Here's the thing, Dave. It's no more complicated than this. If you are going to assess a situation based on your best logic, your best understanding of what's going on, you may make mistakes at times, but if you are striving to be intellectually honest, you will always arrive back at the truth. Okay. But if you are sticking your finger in the wind and saying, wow, everybody's going this way, I can't go against the flow, you're not making any decision from in here. You're making it by trying to literally follow the crowd and then tell them you're their leader. And those are two contradictory things. If you stand for what's right to the best of your ability, you don't have to apologize. I'll give you an example of somebody who tries to do that. He definitely isn't always right. But John Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania, he frequently comes out and says, hey, look, people, here are the facts. And of course, the Democrats, they hate his guts because he's not kosher 100% with them. But if you look at what he's attempting to do in every situation, he's attempting to assess the information and come up with the right answer. Now, he needs some real moral guideposts that he doesn't have, and he'd be a lot more consistent. But that would also make him a total enemy to the Democrats, and they'd find some unpaid parking ticket in his past and demand his ouster. But that's the difference between trying to be intellectually honest versus posturing to try and get in front of the crowd and tell them you're their leader. I have no credibility in Joe Rogan anymore.
What's he doing in the Democratic Party then? He ought to be in the Republican Party.
Well, again, what he needs is somebody to sit down and have a good long talk to him about basic morality in America, what has worked in our history. And I think he would see that a whole lot more of what he has stumbled into is not right and will not work. There are people like that. Again, they don't have all the answers, but they're seeking to be intellectually honest. But any intellectual honesty at all among a Democrat makes you a pariah as far as they're concerned.
He wants Christy Nolan to be kicked out. He wants her to be impeached. Okay. Now, the last time I looked, she's still working. And I don't know whether you call that what happened a disaster or whatever, but they weren't handling themselves like they should have.
Let me tell you, if the Minneapolis police had been doing their job,
exactly,
that little punk would still be alive. Okay, we've got the video of him from about a week before he died, and he's out there. He's kicking the car. He's assaulting. They let him go. The police wouldn't take him in.
He's spitting on the police.
That right there was a criminal act. If you went and did that,
I'd be dead.
You'd be in jail. Okay,
I'd be dead.
And so again, the problem is, first of all, the Minneapolis police are in the hip pocket of Mayor Jacob Frey and Governor Tim Walz, who are both leftists. Both of them, both Frey and Walz, have a vested interest in maintaining the vote fraud, maintaining the Somali presence there, so that
one, they can steal elections, and two, they can keep their pipeline of billions of dollars of money running. Okay, they both have a vested interest in this. Okay, so that's why they're not going to do what's right to secure Minneapolis from these hostile and even violent foreign invaders. And that's who the Somali populace is. They are not the innocent victims. Okay, they collude in all of this. But again, another one, and I wanted to send you the picture. You've probably already seen it, just to show you how these things are handled. The news outlet, the media outlet, MS Now, which was MSNBC.
Yeah.
They got such a bad reputation they had to change their name.
Did they?
Had
seriously? Did they change their name?
They changed. It's MS Now. I will. This is another thing I'll try and remember to send you here is the picture that they put up of that. What's his name? Alex Preddy.
Yeah.
Okay. They have this. You have the real picture of him, and you could just see from the picture he's obviously one of those little lefties that's he probably does cosplay in his spare time. And they have the picture that they used, the side by side, the original portrait and the AI enhanced picture. And he looks, they've changed the proportions of his body, of his face and everything. He looks like a real good regular guy. He doesn't look like your stinking little pinheaded leftist that he was.
Yeah.
Okay. They changed the picture. This is not news. This is propagandizing.
They do that all the time. They did it on Trump. Remember the speech at 1-6?
Exactly. They reverse things. For us, they make you look extra bad. For the leftists, they make them look extra good, whether it's in the way they misquote you or in this case, this was so blatant, the way they manipulated the picture.
Well,
It was unreal.
How many other journalists are going up to Minneapolis and checking on all those child care places? I mean, just that one guy.
Right. We're not. And look what they've done to him. Look at how they've tried to destroy him, destroy his reputation.
They're trying to kill him, for God's sake.
Meanwhile, you look at how this leftist media, like you said, that they are ignoring all. Let's talk. You want to talk about lives lost? Let's talk about all the innocent people in Minneapolis who've been assaulted, raped, and murdered by these Somali illegal invaders, which they characterize as migrants, travelers.
Whoever it is to lower their voice, please. I'm doing a show here.
Do I need to lower my voice?
No, not you.
Oh, okay.
No, they're talking loud outside, and it's just not.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry, I caught you in mid.
Oh, that's all right. I've got a couple of more things I have here.
Sure.
Sure.
So, all right. Well, go ahead. Go with what you want.
Again, part of the big game here is, meanwhile, this week, nobody on the leftist media, not a one of these people, not one of these shameless leftists that gets in front of the microphones and tells us what's really important. Not a one of them is talking about the massive vote fraud that has been uncovered in Georgia.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, that proves unequivocally what we've known all along, that the 2020 election was a total sham. They put a phony president in the White House for 4 years. They put Joe Biden in front of the microphone.
Barack Obama back in office.
Barack Obama pulling his strings. You're 100%.
And they're all pulling the strings of this.
This is a direct threat to the future of America if this kind of thing isn't confronted and every guilty party removed. This destroys the prospects for the future for every honest citizen. Major so-called media is not even talking about it.
What? Oh, yeah. Who was that? Mayhew, I'm going to come. This is my last guest making a lot of noise out there. I'm going to come kick his ass. Anyways, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. But
he got a lot of things to handle there.
He was breaking the law of your ability to have your First Amendment rights.
Oh, I'm a victim. Get me a piece of pizza.
You are a terrible victim.
So just to complete what I was describing there, again, leftists posturing their way onto their phony moral high ground. So Mo Ivory, the Georgia election official who's overseeing all of this stuff, she's screaming in panic because, quote, that the FBI seized 700 boxes of Georgia ballots. Okay, and she's so horrified about this. Now, tell me something. That election was in 2020.
Yeah.
They seized these ballots. if that election was legitimate, why should she even care? If these ballots are legitimate, all the FBI is going to do is go through and say, hey, yep, these are legitimate.
Sure.
Okay. She's terrified. The Democrat Party is terrified because in Georgia, they're proving the election fraud. They're going to make sure that Georgia doesn't do this again, which is going to change the entire character of Georgia elections. Democrats can't win there the way they have been. Okay. In Minneapolis, if we get rid of the Somali vote, they can't win elections in Minneapolis. You go to Arizona, if you uncover the actual election fraud there, Democrats can't win in Arizona. Bottom line is, what we're going to be finding out here, if we survive this, if the real Republicans, the real conservatives stay the course, what we're going to find out.
And if you watch the show, we're on top of it.
Yep.
Even the next guy coming on, the McCloskeys, he knows exactly what happened on 1/6 because he's the lawyer to all the people who were pardoned by Trump for doing nothing on 1/6.
So if this goes full scale, then what you're going to find is we do not have a country that's 55% leftist socialist and 45 conservatives. So it's evenly split or anything like that. You're going to find that the leftists have been seizing power illegitimately, coast to coast. They may not even win California if you have proper elections there of real citizens and one vote per person actually going and voting. You're liable to see a total red shift even in places like California. This is the stakes of the situation that we're presently in. And this is why they have got to burn down Minneapolis or any place else they can in order to keep us from focusing on the real issue.
And they want a lot you killed. That's the whole idea. They want this.
Absolutely. There's no argument about that.
See what's going on when you attack our neighbors and this, that, and the other?
Yep. Maximize the chaos. That's endemic to Marxism. This is how they work. But here's the key, Dave. The key is the ball is always in our court as conservatives. If we come out and say, here's the real facts, we're sticking with it. Your lies, your accusations are not going to intimidate me. I'm going to stay with the facts. It was right for us to go into Minneapolis and get rid of the illegal aliens. They're not migrants. They're not travelers. They're not refugees. These are illegal invaders. They're hostile in many cases. They're violent. They're criminal. And they shouldn't be across the border, even if they were nice guys. But they're definitely not overall.
And the Somalis are ripping off the state to the tune of maybe $20 billion. Taxpayer money, mind you.
Yep. And you figure out if 10% of that actually goes back into the pockets of the politicians who are helping them, that's $2 billion.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Waltz and his friends can sure have a party with that.
Well,
so of course
says I did nothing wrong, but I'm going to resign.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of politics. I guess he's got enough money.
Exactly. So, but I have to go back to the fact that if this is game, set, match for America, this is what they're doing. If they can convince us to do the Tom Tillis thing, that slinking coward, and come out and say, well, we just need to try and get a nicer person in there than Kristi Noem because she's too effective. If they can convince us to do that, we lose.
Yep.
It's up to us. If we stand fast, their narratives fall apart. I'll tell you something else I sent you in your messages there. You'll have to read this. You remember Renee Good? She was the one that tried to drive the truck over the ICE agent who shot her.
Yes.
She was a lesbian leftist activist who had been harassing ICE agents all day long.
Right.
Finally, she pushed it way over the line, nearly killed the guy. She injured him, and she got shot. Okay, the media, and every leftist with a microphone.
They still call him a murderer.
He's a murderer, and she was. I quote you. She was a poet and a mother. Okay,
Yeah.
I sent you a copy of one of her poems, and you read it. And first of all, this just sidestepping for the moment the fact of who and what she really was and what she was doing that day. You read her poem, it's slime, it's filth, it's from the gutter. This is not a poet. This is not Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, patriotically talking about America. This is slime, but she's a poet and a mother. if we respond defensively to those kind of accolades for her, oh, we're sorry about the poet and mother, maybe it was an accident, maybe that ICE agent overstepped, we validate whatever absurd lie that these people tell. It's always going to come back to that. If we stand on the truth, we don't apologize for the truth, and we keep bringing it back to what are the real issues at hand, then their narrative will invariably implode. Alex Preddy was not the great hero. He was not the compassionate intensive care nurse. Right. Alice Preddy was a leftist. He was an anarchist. He was assaulting and attacking, and
he was spitting on those guys, and they were driving away.
He got what he begged for.
The back light of the car.
He got what he begged for. Leftists will ignore that and act like somehow they can do whatever they want, and we have to color inside the lines. And I'm telling you, I've referred to it as abused or battered conservative syndrome, kind of like battered wife syndrome. We too reflexively fall into the mode of, instead of taking issues back to their reality, of responding to the attack and trying to prove to these people that we're not the bad people they say we are. That's a waste of time. They already know they're lying. They already know that they're not on the solid ground, and that doesn't matter to them. They've just got to convince you to go along with them if you're a coward, if you're morally not grounded. And at that point, all of a sudden, they're on their little moral high ground, and you're playing defense, which is always a loser.
Well, here's a couple of things that a couple of states now that are really in trouble. One is New York State, and the other is New Jersey. And both of them now are pretty much radicalized and or they're outright socialist or communist, both of these states. So Mandani pledges to raise taxes on the richest, most successful millionaires and billionaires, and so does his fellow governor that just got elected in New Jersey.
Okay, now I'll be honest with you. I haven't kept up with the New Jersey situation. Nothing you said surprises me.
Yeah,
but the other thing,
she ran as a moderate.
What's that?
She ran as a moderate.
Oh, they always do. Again,
yeah.
I'll go back. I haven't mentioned my book yet.
Pretty out there with it, but he did change some subjects and tried to sound more plausible, but he's not.
Mamdani has also come out and said New York is now $11 billion in debt.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the reality of socialism. Socialism is just great as long as you have somebody else that you can leech from, like a blood-sucking, vampire or whatever, to keep you from starving to death. This is what Mamdani is doing. Socialism never works if it has to stand on its own. This is how they operate.
All right. So where are the other journalists out there who are honestly reporting all of this stuff, especially the Leering Center, and I mean they're out there on their own, and now the Somalis are getting pissed off, and they're following this guy around to where he's being threatened, and he's got his own he got his own guards.
Yeah, and it's actually much bigger than that. The Minnesota lieutenant governor, and I don't have her name right here, but it turns out she was coordinating, has been coordinating, probably is still coordinating with these Antifa groups. They have an organization that she belongs to, and this is not organic. This is not mobs on the street that we got to deal with. This is essentially a rogue government, and the only thing to do with these is to either take them down, whatever it takes, or surrender to them, because those are going to be your only options. There's no coexisting with people like this.
And when you give up to them, you're at their mercy, literally. And literally, and your family. And if you say the wrong things, it's not like you get taken off of Twitter or Facebook, like I have, or get your program ruined on occasion. It's more serious than that. You're going to jail, and you might even outright be killed, and your family members too.
Let's talk about the Iran angle of all of this, because there's a huge parallel here. Now, the media, they get it backwards. I don't know if you're aware, CNN sent a reporter to Tehran this last week, and essentially what he did was just regurgitate all the talking points from the IRGC, the Iranian Republican Guard Corps, the Islamist monsters. He regurgitated all their talking points. It's okay here. Those little protesters, those nasty little protesters, they've gone away. Everything's under control. We're doing great. The government's stable. And he's basically a mouthpiece for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably getting paid by him too.
Yeah. And we're talking about a government that in the last few weeks has killed in the tens of thousands of innocent Iranians. And what were they doing? They were protesting in the streets. Well, it's okay in Minneapolis, but in Tehran, it gets you killed. Are the leftists morally consistent with this? Absolutely not. Because if you're protesting for Islamists and criminality and oppression, they're on your side. If you're protesting against that,
obviously,
you can get killed, and they don't care.
Yeah, and these are Persians. They're the people that are the ancient people of Iran.
Yep.
The mullahs are
they're the insurgents.
Iran, right?
And just by the way, just as one little final.
I want to go back just real quick before Chris leaves to go back to the 2020 thing, because it's not only important that the truth comes out, but there has to be consequences, because otherwise they're just going to keep doing it, because we can't go back and undo the election now, and we can't undo all the harm that was done by Biden and his regime for the last 4 years before Trump got back in. They're just going to do it again until somebody finally says, no, there's actual consequences to this. And when we have the proof, hopefully they actually take a step forward and actually have the brass, you know what, to actually incarcerate some people, actually have some punishment, because otherwise it's just going to keep happening. Nothing's going to change.
Absolutely. 100% right, JP. The other thing, though, that we've got to do, and that this is key to getting to where you're describing, is we have got to stop waiting for the leftists to admit they did wrong before we muster that spine.
All right, we're going to end on that spot because I got another guy waiting for me. All right.
Okay.
Other than Dave Weinbaum Show, where can people find you and buy your book?
Okay, I'm still my book is still there at Amazon. Given how successful the Alinsky strategy has been against us over this whole Minneapolis situation, it's obvious Americans still need to read this to understand who the enemy is and how we defeat them.
You know, I used to live in a gated community, but
were there heifers in there?
But they let me out for good behavior. Nice try.
Have a good one. Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. All right. Thank you, Chris. And let's hear it for Chris. Okay. My next guest looks now more like my next guest. He is part of two of the bravest people in the world. Mark is a lawyer to 1,538. Is that correct?
1,583, but I only represent
83. Okay, you know what? I wrote that down because I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
1,583 1-6ers, pardoned by Donald Trump. Please welcome all the way from St. Louis, Mark and Pat McCloskey. Will your better half be?
She's non-participatory this morning.
She's what?
Non-participatory. She's
non-participatory.
She's not even in the house. I can't even.
Not even in the house.
Not pivoting.
Get out of here. We'll close down early. What the hell? No, I'm just kidding. So change in strategy of personnel in Minnesota. Holman now in. Bondi is now being helped by Trump with super assistant prosecutor, who I'm sure you know, Colin McDonald. What the hell is going on?
Well, I don't know if you know Tom Homan, but he's a friend of ours. He is one tough cookie, man. I had him on my show a couple of times, and then after he becomes the border czar, you know, when he was out of office, last time I ran into him before he got appointed to that position, I said, "How long is it going to take you to close the border?" And he said, "I told the president 90 days. The president told me 30 days, right?" And he did it.
He did it.
Yeah. And So he is the Teddy Roosevelt of policemen. He speaks softly and carries a big stick, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to straighten things up. And one of the things I like that he said today, I think might have been yesterday, is that he's not going to put up with any lack of professionalism amongst his troops.
Good.
And that's something that I've complained about publicly in the last couple of weeks, is that the ICE guys did not look like professional law enforcement. They got in wrestling matches with people and shoved them and stuff. And that you lose the public's respect for law enforcement unless law enforcement looks professional. And
now, how would they have gotten better? Because the regular police were prevented from going in with them.
Yeah, that's a tough question, because what you have to do is show an absolute unified force where you don't go out. For example, you see them four ICE agents there and some unruly guy, and they push him down or they mace him, and then they get in a tussling match, right? You gotta have, unfortunately, overwhelming odds so that everybody knows you don't push back on the cops or bad things happen. It's like the Preddy guy, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with carrying a pistol to a rally. I do it all the time. I did it last night. I was at a fundraiser where the governor was. I was packing heat. Nobody cares. But if you start resisting arrest while you're armed, bad things are going to happen, dude. You got to know better than that.
Well, certainly, yeah, and you know it. He is. By the way, he's a lawyer. Did I mention that? He's a lawyer, so we better pay attention to what he said. Kristi Noem, Kash Patel have arrested a lot of people. Dems are screaming impeachment and shutdown. Is Trump adjusting or losing? Fix the problem, not the blame.
Well, I like what Chris and JP said in your last segment, right? Well, we have to. I've been saying this the whole time I was running for U.S. Senate and ever since, that unless there's some actual consequences, unless people like Nancy Pelosi and Mark Milley and Merrick Garland actually go to jail, the American people lose all faith in government. Because if all you do is you have congressional hearings and you issue strongly worded letters and nobody actually goes to jail, or in the case of people like Mark Milley and Nancy Pelosi, where they actually committed treason and conspired against the president, actually may have some more serious consequences. If that doesn't happen, people are going to say, why the hell should we vote? It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah. Well, and they'd be probably right. Although even with that, you're still better off with Trump. But
yeah.
Well, how about the FBI guy Strzok and his girlfriend Paige? They were tried and they won their case. And I think one guy, the man got $1.2 million, and she got about $600,000 or $700,000.
Yeah,
they were ready to take out Trump by any means, and we have them on tape saying that.
Yeah, and we have the insurance policy, right? But then again, you got to fix the jurisdiction, right? And I had a conversation with somebody last night at this fundraiser. The Constitution says that the judicial power of the United States will be one Supreme Court, and such inferior courts as Congress may from time to time establish, which means the entire D.C. circuit is at the discretion of Congress. And you can get rid of all those judges. You can get rid of the entire circuit. The problem is that you arrest somebody in D.C. You get a judge that wants to free all Democrats and all communists and imprison all Republicans and all constitutionalists. You get a jury that hates Donald Trump with a passion, and you're not going to get a fair trial. I mean, it's like your buddy Ryan Zink, right?
Yeah.
20 minutes of jury selection, 20 minutes of jury deliberation, and years in prison.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to him last week. He seems to be okay.
Yeah.
It's a little rocky for him down there, but he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
If he can work it out.
And I talked to our mutual friend Johanna yesterday about getting Ryan on some national programs, and so hopefully we'll help him out here a little bit.
Yeah, what about you getting on? Hey, by the way, I was sitting there minding my own business last week, and I'm watching the Will Cain show, and suddenly these people appear on his show. It was you and Patricia.
Yeah, we were on Newsmax. Did a long segment, a 15-minute segment with Rob Finnerty the night before. And so, we've been getting some press. Time Magazine article on us this week.
Yeah.
And I'll send you the link for that. But it's been an interesting. And last week, as you know, I was out at Santa Barbara at
Tell
the
us about
RNC's
that. I want to
meeting,
know about that.
and got to meet the new chair of the party and the delegates from 50 states, and it was quite an event. And because I wasn't a delegate, I was just a guest of Dave Leitner, who's our state representative. I didn't have to go to all the goddamn boring meetings. I could show up for the open bar events, meet everybody, then go out and enjoy Southern California.
There you go. Yeah, California's a neat place.
Yeah, as long as you don't mind the government. And by the way, your introduction to California politics is when you try to take your first shower in a hotel, right? We were at the convention. It was at the Hilton Santa Barbara, nicest hotel in town, beautiful place. You turn on the shower and little drips of water come down. the Gavin Newsom water supply, right?
Yeah, well, he used it for the fires, obviously, and it didn't quite make it, did it? So, so that meeting was lovely, and you learned a lot. And what's going to happen to California?
Well, I think California, if there is a God, that San Andreas Fault will open up and California will fall into the sea.
Yeah, but you don't want all those people to die.
No, all the Republicans need to move to the east side before that happens.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there's a guy that's been on my program a couple of times. I don't know if you've had him on yours. Who is trying to form 2 new states in California, right? Split California into 3 different states, so there'd be 2 Republican states and 1 Democrat state.
Great.
And he got some traction. He was the comptroller of Newport Beach, California, and now he's moved up to Northern California. But he's got a pretty good program, and it's easier to form new states than you might think. All it takes is a majority of the people in Congress and a majority of the people in the state, and so they could do it if Congress had some spine on that.
Well, wait a minute. Wouldn't you have to have in the state the more than the opponents?
I think it's a simple majority. I think I haven't looked at it in a year or so, but I think it's just a simple majority.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I'm trying to figure out a way to get you in the top media.
Well,
you're doing it, and you ought to give this guy Will Kane a call. He's pretty good, actually.
And somebody called me up and said that we'd been on Will Kane's show, and he could have had me on live. I'm not objecting to some national press on this, and I always manage to sneak in the January 6th stuff. But he didn't even give me any kickback on the percentage of the show. What do I know? So
he showed a great picture of you, an action picture of you and Pat.
Yeah,
with your guns out. and now he said nice things about you. Maybe it just didn't occur to him.
Yeah. Well, the last time I saw Pete Hegseth before he became the Secretary of War, he said, "Hey, we got to get you on the show," and then Trump went and took him away from us.
So so Trump did that just to keep him away from you?
Yes, we'd have somebody else as Secretary of War if the threat of getting me on Fox didn't happen.
Really? You have a lot of interesting connections to where it really means something. If I go out and I hit a hole in one, nobody gives a damn. You go hit a hole in one, you'll be in the headlines, especially if you're playing with Trump.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd have to lie about it though, because I've never had a golf club in my hand in my life.
Oh my God, you poor guy.
Yeah.
I feel for you.
In the real world, in all seriousness, and I try not to be too serious on the Dave Weinbaum show, but there are, the world really runs by a very small number of people. Yeah. And I think Ayn Rand said in Atlas Shrugged that the world is run by 15 people and they all know each other. And I say kind of the opposite. I always say the world may be run by 15 people, but if you know their name, they're not running anything, because the real power is so far behind the curtain, ordinary people can never see it. But at least the ostensible government, the people that ostensibly run this world, it's a very, very small club, and you meet them all pretty quickly.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it is a kind of a small community, and there's a lot of give and take, and a lot of bullying going on as well. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. And right now we're in a kind of an interesting situation, and maybe it's always been like this, but with the exception of J. Edgar Hoover, I don't think it's ever been totally like this, where you have this fear of excommunication if you don't agree with everything that Donald Trump says. And I don't agree with everything that Donald Trump says, but I'm not running for office. But I mean, if you don't support everything he says, he will crush you and support your opposition. And
is that true?
Direct money. Well, talk to MTG about it. Talk to Tom Massey about it. I mean, you get crushed in the media.
How about Tillis?
Yeah, Tom Tillis. Yeah, and so and he may deserve it from my perspective, but the bottom line is that you toe the line, or you get threatened with.
Well, the line being trying to get the government to move, like he's replacing Jerome Powell now.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the name of the guy, I forget it, but he's made, I don't know when Powell leaves. It's probably in May or something like that.
Yeah, it's in May. Yeah.
At least they got somebody. Maybe they can convince him to drop the case that that is about all the construction that he was causing at the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Maybe they can bribe him into that and get him kicked out sooner, so he can start cutting rates for us dummies who live out here in this country.
And that's exactly right. And I sound like a broken record on this, but what Trump needs to do is he needs to focus on America more and less on international politics. He likes being a big shot on the international stage, and he likes doing what he did when he was a private citizen, and that's making deals and taking dramatic moves. But the American people need tax relief. They need incomes to go up. They need prices to come down. They need their 401ks to go up, and lowering the interest rate back to the way it was, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or 6 years ago is a better example, will really make a difference. And that needs to be the number one goal.
Well, he's taken steps in that, and they're big steps. And the Democrats are scared to death of him, literally, and they're now going to close the government today.
Yeah, over supporting criminals, right?
Yeah, over supporting criminals, exactly.
Patty and I said this at the national convention back in 2020, that these prosecutors feel that their job is to protect criminals against ordinary citizens instead of protecting ordinary citizens against criminals. And that son of a gun, Fry, up in Minneapolis, is openly declaring war on the United States and saying that this is a battle and we can't back down. Well, there was probably a time when you declare war against the United States, bad things happen to you, like in 1861.
Yeah. Now, who are you talking about? The guy in Canada?
No, the mayor of Minneapolis.
Oh, Fry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yeah. But I mean, he's declaring war. He's declaring that this is a battle against the United States, and and if we don't stop it here, it's going to come to your hometown.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, right there, he's committing crime.
Yeah. Inciting riot.
And
inciting
treason. It's treasonous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's incredible. He's threatening the lives of ICE constantly.
Yeah.
So we'll see what your buddy can do up there.
Oh yeah, I think that things will change. He's a no nonsense guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're going to send anybody, he's the guy to send. And I don't know how much sway Christy Noem could, I don't want to discard her, but they just weren't acting like they should have acted.
Yeah.
And could have acted under a guy like Tom Homan.
Yeah.
And I think it's time, in everything, if it's not going right, you got to make some changes.
And you got to admit when you make a mistake. I mean, when she went on the air right after that, the Freddie guy got shot and declared that he was a domestic terrorist and he came there with an intent of murdering federal agents. Well, watch the video first and talk second. Or wait till the investigation is over before you say things like that, because it causes you to lose credibility. In her case, not just her credibility, but the position there in directing things in Minneapolis. But I've been as ardent a MAGA supporter as there is, but I had to post something against Kash Patel earlier this week when he went on television and said that you have no right to carry a gun to a protest. Well, I
heard that.
I disagree, and I posted on my X feed a little army that traveled with me when I was in the midst of the George Floyd riots, like I said earlier, I was at a fundraiser last night with the governor. I was armed, and I don't think I was the only person there that was, nobody got killed, because if you behave yourself, you've got every right in the world to carry in a private home or any place except the limited prohibitions. But by God, when you start getting in a fight with the cops in your arm, you can expect bad things to happen.
You got that. All right, listen, I want to run a few clips here, because not clips, but got people texting me here. One in particular, if you start from the bottom up, JP, it's got the bottom up. That would be the under. Yeah, right there. John Jeffrey Bradshaw. Love the McCloskeys. Okay, I don't know which one he meant, but apparently as a couple. All right, anyone else up here that have not been on the show? Because I've noticed a lot of Roy Maddox. Good morning from Oklahoma. I see Dave laughing, but I don't hear anything.
That was earlier on the clips.
Okay, that we fixed that, right? Okay. And anyone else? Is that about it? Okay, you're good.
Not very popular today, I guess.
We wasted about one minute there. So let me ask you a question about do you know Glenn Beck?
I've met him. I don't know him well. I don't know him any better than I know.
He's got a lot of interesting things to say, and he's predicted a lot of stuff that's going on today.
Oh yeah,
especially Muslims taking over Europe and things like that. They used to laugh at him, but no, he's been dead on most of the time. Unlike your friend Tucker. Okay. Anyways, seems that many people now are pushing gold and silver. Isn't this? And this is the rest of the world getting real nervous, or are they in a lot of debt too? And is this thing going to collapse? Because you got now all screwed up about it, and people are buying gold and silver like crazy.
Yeah, and governments are buying gold and silver like crazy, or gold like crazy. The increase in the value of gold is really just, in my humble opinion, a reflection of the decrease in the value of the dollar. The gold may be the unmovable entity which is all currencies are compared to. And so when gold goes from being $3,000 an ounce to $5,000 an ounce, that just means $5,000 worth of money today is what $3,000 is worth a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and this has to be being done by people like China, Japan, and if they go down, is it going to be a disaster for us, or are we going to survive it?
I don't know. The two largest gold reserves in the world are in Russia and South Africa, right? And so it's one of the reasons why my buddy Tucker always says that Russia ought to be our good friend and not our enemy, because they have the biggest country on earth with a huge amount of natural resources that are underdeveloped. But you're right about China. The Chinese government is very unstable. Their economy is subject to collapse. They have a demographic problem that's going to kill them in the near future, because they can't replace their current population. And all these things are interesting in a global perspective. But the biggest problem we have right now is that the biggest countries in the world are buying gold and not U.S. dollars, and trading in gold and not U.S. dollars. And once we lose reserve status for our currency, we just become one more third world debtor nation, and that's a real problem. And it's a problem that I think too few people recognize. That's one of the real things that Donald Trump is doing on the international stage, is propping up respect for the United States and encouraging reinvestment in the United States. But as my wife always says, if you're a multinational corporation and President Trump gets elected president and says, come in here and build a $300 billion facility, and we will give you all kinds of tax breaks and we will give you all kinds of incentives. But in 2 years, there's going to be a Democrat as president who's going to wipe it all away and make your life a living hell. Who's going to come in here and do that, right? There has to be a sense of stability. And one thing that the United States lacks right now is a sense of stability.
Yeah, it's it's getting close, but if people really stop listening to common sense and they go along with some of the I don't understand what they're running on, the Democrats. I mean, I don't see what brains would go for these people who are just wrong, dead wrong, and have nothing to do but ruin the country.
Yeah, and you now have, and we talked about this last week. I mean, you got an Arab communist who gets elected mayor of New York City.
Yeah,
how the hell does that happen, right?
And everybody's leaving. I mean, and he's showing up at and the one in New Jersey too. She's a communist as well, and they're both saying we're in debt and we're going to raise taxes on the rich. We're going to. I mean, that's all it is. It's just taking money from them, and they're all going to move. So then, what are they going to do?
Yeah, well,
get a Democrat in office somewhere who can kiss. They can kiss their butts and get money because it's not going to work.
But and people are moving to Florida and people are moving to Texas. But the problem is that when they move to Texas, they bring their liberal ideas with them. All the big cities in Texas, Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio, they're all Democrat cities. Austin is so left, it's shocking. And so, leave New York, but leave your politics behind too, and come down here and enjoy freedom. And don't import the same problems that caused you to leave New York City.
Now, here's one last thing that I think is important. I was listening to, I do listen to Reels a lot on Facebook, and I was listening to Glenn Beck, and he was talking about China infiltrating our colleges and workplaces with about 100,000 every year since 2014. The goal is to have Chinese babies in the USA, and they get to be citizens, and that's millions of votes controlled by China.
Yeah, two things. One is Trump, for whatever reason, which boggles my mind, has increased the number of Chinese students he wants in the country to 600,000. But what your listeners may not know is that in China, there's a law that requires all their citizens to be spies to the defense forces, right? And so if you come here, if you're a college student at Mizzou, by the way, why can't China take over the world? Because they can't feed their own people. So what's the problem? Well, if you go to the agricultural department at schools like Mizzou or Texas A&M, it's full of Chinese students learning modern ag techniques to take back to China so they can enhance the ability of the Chinese to feed themselves. And they take back two things. They take back their espionage, and they take back their actual trained knowledge. Neither one of those things helps the United States. And why you would open your doors to an enemy that on a daily basis announces that they want to destroy us, militarily, socially, economically want to destroy us. Why would we let a single one of those people in this country? I just don't understand it.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, excellent point. Even my wife agrees with that. She hardly agrees with anything I say. You don't agree with anything I say. So other than Dave Weinbaum Show, where can people find you and Pat and hire you?
Well, you can find me and Patty at the gun show in Union tomorrow from 11 to 1. We're going to be there doing a personal appearance. It's at the Baptist Center on Highway 47, just north of Union, Missouri. We'll be there from 11 to 1. You can find me at McCloskeyLaw.com. That's my law firm. At McCloskey USA is my X feed. McCloskey Mo is where I am on Facebook. And my cell phone number is 314-580-3185. Give me a holler. I'm still practicing law, despite what Google says.
And someday he's going to get it right, ladies and gentlemen. He's practicing now, but he's going to get it right. I know.
I've been practicing for 40 years. It's too damn late. I'll never learn.
All right. So, I just wanted you to know that I wanted to be a tailor, but I wasn't suited for it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark McCloskey. Play the rest of it. Come on. Why should he? No, he didn't laugh. I didn't hear him laugh at all.
From funny,
there you go.
There you go.
You have a great weekend, okay, my friend.
You take care. Good luck. Have a good golf game.
And let her be on the show once in a while, would you?
I was giving her trouble this morning. She gets dressed up. She goes on the Finnerty show, and I see you go on national television. Okay, you're not shy about doing that.
Well, maybe I've got an issue with her then. What the hell? Am I sitting here with chopped liver? It's terrible. I wasn't referring to you, honey. No, I was not. You're on the show. She's on the show, you see. She's welcome on the show. Anyways, you have a great weekend, and I'm going to close the show down here shortly. And stay in touch, would you?
Absolutely. And thanks again. I love being on your program.
I love having you on. You're a good guy. I don't care what they say about you. You're a good guy. Maybe someday you can convince me to be good friends with the rest of your Catholic buddies,
Absolutely.
I mean, I have a lot of great friends who are Catholics.
Well, and I was at this thing last night, and there was a guy there, and I said, "You're wearing your prayer cords." I thought he was a conservative Jew. And no, he just had this braid that went down the side of his pants.
Thanks for your extra Jewish story. Thank you. That's always nice when you have Jewish stories. All right, I gotta go.
All right.
I'll be back with another edition of the Dave Weinbaum Show. Thank you all for listening, and have a great weekend. Stay warm.